7 that at any point in his career, Brett Favre trying to avoid his third straight poor performance today as we take down. But final thoughts, and I will do a better job on the anniversary gift. I just want to let you know that. Go ahead.
You know what? Speaking of the anniversary gift, and for all of you out there that are in my position where you're single now and you're divorced, some of the problems we all make is we don't step up to the plate when anniversaries are around. JB didn't buy Dorothy anything for their anniversary. I don't have a lot, maybe that's $800. What do you got? Jimmy, Jim, there's a bunch. Here's what you got. We got you about $4 grand. That's about $4,000 right there, Dorothy, for you, sweetie. You go get that woman something, or you'll be over here with me.
Take care of your woman.
Howie Long will be hosting Sports Illustrated's Sportsman of the Year show next Sunday night right here on Fox. Hey, folks, trust me.
Take care of
I have already taken care of my wife. For those of you getting the late game only, we'll be right back. Everyone else, we'll see you at halftime. This is all joke, you know that.
Yeah, ever since I got this, I feel
stronger, faster.
Yeah, I'm doing this, doing that. Bang, 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 you know?
Early this morning at Lambeau Field, the ground crew covering the field. The wind chill was 8 degrees, and it's December at Lambeau Field. And now the Green Bay Packers delighted. They're back home after suffering a 2-game losing streak on the road. And today, they entertain the Chicago Bears in the continuation of the oldest rivalry in the National Football League. And it's great to be in Green Bay, everyone. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston, and Ron Pitts is with us as well. And the Packers trying to get out of that 2-game losing streak. They still can clinch that division title, but just coming home isn't going to be enough for them.
No, it's not. And hopefully the Packers will not get lured into a false sense of security that their 2-game losing streak was because they played on historically bad places for the Packers, the Metrodome and Raymond James Stadium. The big problem has been what they're doing on the football field. They're looking at the running game. They have struggled over the last 5 weeks, but the big difference has been in the turnover battle. Their 7-game winning streak, they were doing a great job of protecting the ball and taking the ball away. They have not done that the last 2 weeks.
Well, the Chicago Bears have done something last week, and that is win a game, ending their 8-game losing streak. And even when they lost all those close games, they played very hard, which is to their credit. But realistically, what are their best chances today against the Pack?
Well, just to come out and do what they've done during the course of the season, which is play tough football for 60 minutes. This is a very resilient group, and Dick Duran made the statement this week. He was so happy for his football team to win that game last week because they did not deserve the moniker to hold the longest losing streak in franchise history. If the Bears come out and play 60 minutes and get a quick start and get something positive going, the Packers are going to be in for a football game.
Well, Darryl, this has been a one-sided rivalry as of late. The Packers have won the last 4 and 15 of the last 17 games. So we're set for the Packers and the Bears. Remember to answer today's Sprint virtual coach question. What do you think of Warren Sapp's hit on Chad Clifton? And you can vote now using PCS Vision from Sprint or log on to foxsports.com. And we'll be back after these messages with the opening kickoff.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Turn your dollar into something tasty with a juicy Big and Tasty with fresh lettuce and tomato, the McChicken sandwich, or lots of your favorite foods for just $1 each. Every day on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
I am Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I am Emmett
Smith. I am Emmett Smith.
No, really, I am. Worried that the you shopping online isn't really you? That's why there's Verified by Visa, a security service that helps protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating financial institutions.
I am Emmett Smith.
Please. To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
The Agile Play of the Week is brought to you by Microsoft, providing software to help businesses be more agile. Herman Edwards Jets have found an offensive identity behind quarterback Chad Pennington, who displayed some agile moves last Sunday.
Fakes at the 5, into the end zone, touchdown! What a run by Chad Pennington!
Pennington juked number 55, Eddie Robinson, for the score.
Gina? You know, when I was first hired, we didn't have all these fancy integrated systems. Our sales program wasn't even linked with accounting. Warehouse platform in Chicago wasn't linked to anything, not even shipping. Back then, orders took days. Now they just take hours.
Wow, how long have you been working here?
A couple of months now.
Oh.
With Microsoft Server software, you can quickly connect all aspects of your business. That's software for the agile business from Microsoft.
Welcome back to a very cold and windy Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ron Pitts here. Hey, the word is about Jim Miller. What is he going to be able to do? He's got that elbow tendonitis. He hasn't been able to throw the last 2 weeks in practice. He's only come out in pregame warm-up and thrown. He came out today and threw only 4 passes. Now, he told me he's going to try to wear this neoprene sleeve to help the arm, maybe give some warmth to that elbow area. He said it'll be tight, but he's got to try it. It helps him throw the football. And then he said, I'll get that old familiar visit from Dr. Feelgood, which is the pain injection. He said, without that, I wouldn't be able to play. That's it for down here. Let's go back up to Dick Stockton.
All right, Ron, and what a gutty performance by Jim Miller in bringing his team back from a 10-point deficit to win in overtime against the Lions last week. The Bears get it first. Ahmad Merritt returning the opening kickoff of the game and will not reach the 20. Antoine Edwards on the special teams tackle. Let's take a look at the Chicago Bears offensive line. Versatile Kevin Doggins again starts at left guard. James Williams at right tackle despite an injury that almost sent him out of action. Anthony Thomas starts at running back. Des White and Marty Booker coming off 100-yard receiving games against the Detroit Lions. Dustin Lyman begins at tight end. And Jim Miller, who said because of the cold and because of his elbow, it might affect the location of his passes. He begins from the 18 with a pass, but that is all nullified as a flag is thrown before the snap. Ron Winter and his crew leading it today.
False start. 89 offense.
And
5-yard penalty.
Not the way you want to open up a game, as Dustin Lyman called for the false start. John Davis, the regular tight end, out with back spasms, and John Gilmore, a rookie, will be the backup to Lyman. Both teams have been plagued by injuries on both sides of the ball all year. 1st and 15. Following the penalty and the quick pass to Marty Booker, and Booker gets a couple of those yards back. Let's take a look at the Packers defensive unit. And Gilbert Brown inactive with an ankle injury, so Rod Walker replaces him. But Vonnie Holliday is back. Nate Wayne, Hardy Nickerson, and Niall Diggs, the linebackers. Diggs coming off his first career interception against Tampa Bay. And Mike McKenzie having an outstanding year at cornerback. And Marcus Anderson, the rookie, playing extremely well as well. 2nd down and 9, and the handoff to Anthony Thomas off the left side has a big opening, and Darren Sharper will push him out of bounds, but not before a huge gain of 26 for the A-Train.
And that's an area that the Chicago Bears have to concentrate on this football game in running the ball. They struggled last week. The Green Bay Packers defense did against the Tampa Bay Bucks with perimeter runs. And that is really the strength of this offense. They run the toss cracks and the counters as well as anybody in the NFL.
And Thomas, who gained only 40 yards last week against the Lions. Bears trying to break what has been an unenviable string, not scoring on their first possession this year. 1st and 10, and a flag is down. So once again, the Chicago Bears, who had a false start to open the game, called for another one here.
False start. Number 80, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Predicts are on right there. Frustration on his part. He knows his team has to come in here and eliminate their mistakes. They are not good enough to have mistakes to be able to beat the Green Bay Packers. They have to play an error-free football game.
And I don't know if they'll play error-free, but one thing is the Bears have to gain the advantage in the turnover battle, something that has plagued the Green Bay Packers. First down and 15 once again with long yardage, and here's Marty Booker on the screen, and he's buried in a hurry, and Mike McKenzie coming in to make the play.
This is a play that I just do not believe works at the NFL level. Number one, the speed and the athleticism of the defenders. And number two, in the college game where this play really caught on, you're allowed to block as an offensive player before the ball is caught. You can't do that in the NFL. So there's a couple of reasons why I think that play is limited in its success at the NFL level.
John Shoup, the offensive coordinator of the Bears, now looking at 2nd and long, 2nd and 18. Short of the 40-yard line, and here's Thomas, this time trying to cut upfield, and he's going to lose about 3 or 4 more yards. On the last play, the Bears lost 3 on the screen pass. This time they lose 2 more with Cletius Hunt and Keith McKenzie making the tackle.
Well, when you're running the football, the one thing you have to prevent is penetration, and one of the things that the Chicago Bear offense does is down block and try and create gaps. That play right there, the defenders being able to beat those blocks and get into the backfield.
And Keith McKenzie, who is in there for the Packers, was a member of the Bears, inactive when these teams first played, and McKenzie this week criticizing Greg Blosch's game plan against Green Bay. So he had a lot to say playing against his former team. And here is Leon Johnson, who expects to see a lot of action today, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, still 10 yards short of the first down, with Darren Sharper making the stop.
A little bit more versatility at the running back position in the passing game and being able to get into some empty sets, and a nice job right there by Leon Johnson, not forgetting about his protection responsibilities first before releasing into that screen.
So Brad Maynard going back to kick, and penalties hurting the Chicago Bears on their first possession. Darian Gordon back deep for the Packers. And it's not going to be a good day with this cold for the kickers. And here is Darren Sharper cutting in front of Gordon to make the catch on the punt. No return from the 21-yard line. The Packers go on offense for the first time.
Now, Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
A refurbished Lambeau Field, including the locker rooms, shaped as a football, and there is the locker of number 4, Brett Favre, who is starting his 169th consecutive game, most ever by an NFL quarterback, and the longest current streak of any player, looking to undo what has been 2 rocky games for him, as Darryl mentioned, in Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Starting from the 22-yard line, Amon Green stumbling for a couple of yards on first down. Packers trying to unleash that ground game that has been missing. Looking at the offensive line, Mike Flanagan, the left tackle, and Frank Winters playing center with Chad Clifton, who thankfully is home from the hospital here in Green Bay. Amon Green, the chief running back, with Driver and Glenn, the wide receivers, and Bubba Franks, the tight end. Brett Favre, more interceptions in a 2-game regular season span ever in his career, 7 in the last 2, and the pass is thrown incomplete.
Packers trying to set up a screen pass there, and Amon Green getting caught up with all the rush, and the Packers, one of the better screen teams in the league, just out of sync on that play right there.
Favre threw for his season's high
in the vicinity of the pass.
So he was throwing to the receiver, who was Amon Green, in case anyone was considering that he was trying to just ground the ball. So 3rd down and 8 coming up out of the shotgun is Favre. Had his season's best game yardage-wise against the Bears earlier in the year, looking for a receiver, and loses the ball as he is sacked. And the Bears hoping to recover. And they have the Chicago Bears, and it was Roosevelt Colvin, the linebacker, who they said would be blitzing on Brett Favre today, forcing the fumble that the Bears recover.
And one of the things that the Chicago Bears have not been able to do in the previous few games against the Packers is get to Brett Favre. They have tried to pressure him, have not been able to get there. That puts their defensive backs in the tough position. Roosevelt Coleman, coming from depth, beats Ahman Green on the protection and gets the hit on Brett Favre. So the problem that has plagued them over the last 2 games, turnovers, again shows its ugly head early in this football game today.
And the rookie defensive end Alex Brown makes the recovery, and Dick Duran told us yesterday, we know we can beat anybody, but we have to play at a high level and get most of the breaks. Well, they've got one here, and the Bears at the Packer 19. And the quick screen out to Marty Booker, and Booker pushed out of bounds by Tyrone Williams after a gain of 5 yards.
Here is the other thing that the Chicago Bears have to work on. Now that they have the opportunity in the red zone, the thing that they have to do is take advantage of this situation. Last year in the 2 games, the first game, they kicked field goals. They were in there 4 times, had to kick 4 field goals. The second time they met, up here at Lambeau Field, they actually had turnovers in the red zone. So this is an area of the field that they have struggled against the Packers recently.
There you see the red zone offense for the Bears looking to jump up. And there's the pitch to Thomas. And Thomas is set back. So the Packers laying in wait for Anthony Thomas, limiting him to a 2-yard gain with Nate Wayne in on the play. With under 10 minutes remaining, the Giants jump ahead of the Tennessee Titans in a huge game for both of these teams, really on the bubble as far as the playoffs are concerned. And you'll be checking all the scores dropping down in the right-hand corner right there all day. So the Bears last in the league in rushing and yards per carry, looking at 3rd down and 3. And Booker's pass, and it's going to be too low for Des White. And once again, you just brought that up, Darryl. The Bears with a great opportunity, forced to settle for 3 points.
And it's been a problem in the recent history in this rivalry, but also, you know, going back to last week against the Detroit Lions, missed opportunities early in the football game to take control of that game. All of a sudden, they find themselves in a tight football game, having to come back at the end. They don't want that to happen against the Packers today.
Paul Ettinger, the hero last week in overtime, with a 30-yard field goal attempt. And it's a fake, and the flip to Dustin Lineman, who's going to score. Dustin Lyman, the tight end, and so the razzle-dazzle that the Bears are known for, especially on special teams, nets them a touchdown, and it will go as a 12-yard pass from the holder, Brad Maynard, to Dustin Lyman, and he was untouched going in.
Well, we had a Bears game last year. They used a similar situation. They showed the same motion with Brian Urlacher coming across the formation and going out of the pass. This time, they shovel the ball underneath to Dustin Lyman, the other wing going the other way. Good seal blocks by the left side of that line. There was nobody there for Dustin Lyman.
Ettinger on for the extra point, was just on moments ago for the fake. The kick is good, and the Bears lead 7-0. So after all of that, the Bears don't have to settle for 3. They've got 7.
For over 8 years, DirecTV has brought America the best in television entertainment, and our customers have shown their appreciation in many unique ways. We simply figured it was an emotion they couldn't put into words. Until now. DirecTV, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among satellite and cable subscribers by J.D. Power and Associates. Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. By Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Zales, the Diamond Store. And by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
And we are back in Green Bay. Yes. It is December, it is cold, and the Chicago Bears are hot as Dustin Lyman scoring the touchdown. And you mentioned the trickery on the special teams, and it was Maynard who threw a touchdown pass against the Redskins last week. We saw it to Brian Urlacher, a 27-yarder after a fake. So when you're 3-8, you've got to try things like this. And the kickoff, and the ball is picked up by Javon Walker and taken out to the 36-yard line. As we see the touchdown again.
Let's go back and look at that fake. You're looking for something here. What you've got is 8 guys away from the ball. Now they're going to motion Brian Urlacher across. That draws everybody's attention. Now here comes Dustin Lyman the other way with a little shovel pass. Bernard Robertson and Brian Robinson, some great blocks out front. A good use of an old look.
I am Emmitt Smith.
I'm Emmitt Smith.
I'm Emmitt Smith.
I am
Emmitt Smith. I am Emmitt Smith.
No, really, I am. Worried that the you shopping online isn't really you? That's why there's Verified by Visa, a security service that helps protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating financial institutions.
I am Emmitt Smith.
Please. To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
Print me.
Hey, look, my first fish. Hey, over here, print me.
Hey, pick me. I'm smiling.
Pick me, please.
You picked the dog over your brother?
No, not the dog.
The HP All-in-One printer with proof sheet makes it easy to pick and print just the right shots.
Oh, that hurts.
Pete, man, what are we gonna do? The game's on the line. All right, hook and lateral. Ready? Break!
They're at midfield with seconds on the clock. If they complete a pass, I don't think they can get it out of bounds and stop the clock.
Whoa! Look at this! What a play! Oh, baby, that's classic!
Now this is a classic. It's all yours.
Nah, I got my own.
The size you want, the team you want. Get your own Gridiron Classic available at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
Catch the comedy that proves your coworkers are as crazy as you think.
Is that coffee? I didn't see coffee.
Oh! Do you see it now?
Andy Richter, season premiere at 9:30 tonight on Fox.
I've never heard Lambeau Field this quiet as the Bears take a 7-0 lead. Mike Sherman, who was in the news for challenging Warren Sapp with his hit on Chad Clifton last week. The Packers have never lost 3 in a row since Sherman has become head coach. And the pass to Donald Driver is incomplete. Unable to hold on to it was Driver. The Chicago Bears defensive unit, and they have been riddled with injuries during the course of this season. Alex Brown, the rookie, in there, along with Keith Traylor, Brian Robinson, and Philip Daniels. Ted Washington is on injured reserve. Howard, Urlacher, and Colvin are the linebackers, and the defensive backs make up the defense. The handoff to Ahman Green, and Green, with a cutback, brings it out to the 44-yard line, getting 7 yards on the carry.
And the Green Bay Packers statistically may have not run the ball well the last few weeks, but I really feel that Ahman Green is running as well as he ever has. He's a very physical runner. He gets yards after contact, and you can't really judge a guy by playing against the Tampa Bay defense. That is a very, very good defensive group, and he ran very hard last week.
But he has not gained 100 yards in a game in 7 weeks, looking to break that today. And the pass out to Franks, the tight end, who makes the reception and is short of the first down. So holding was the Bears defense. So right now Chicago grabbing the early momentum, and Greg Blosh, the defensive coordinator, has to feel delighted going against Brett Favre. He, of course, like Dick Geron, used to be assistant coaches here in Green Bay. So Josh Bidwell will do the punting from the 30-yard line, and Leon Johnson back deep. Johnson getting a big play last week and already seeing action in the backfield for the Bears offense. Bidwell's punt is short, bounces on the 22, and Johnson is going to let it bounce inside the 15-yard line. Hang time will not be major today, considering the cold. We'll be right back.
It's coming, the next American.
Well, we all know about Brett Favre's streak, but James Big Cat Williams makes his 130th consecutive start, and he was a game-time decision earlier this afternoon. And actually, earlier in the season against the Saints, played in a game that the coaches didn't expect him to be able to go physically. He needs to be on the field for the Bears to be successful.
First down for the Bears on the 14-yard line, leading 7-0. And here is the A-Train, and A-Train getting out for a yard gain to the 15. And of course, field position very important here. We have already seen that the punters are not going to be booming them today. The Bears with the early edge in yardage. The Packers surprisingly with only 4, as Brett Favre talking things over on the sideline.
You talk about how the weather affects the game, and most people go to the passing game, but Mike Sherman's big concern, and also Dick Geron, was the kicking game also, the fielding of punts, the kickoffs. That will be a big determination, and who has field possession during the course of the game.
2nd and 9 on a play action. Miller loses the ball, and a scramble for the loose ball. So the second time today there have been a fumble by the quarterbacks, and it was Nate Wayne, the linebacker, who forced Jim Miller to cough it up, and it was recovered by the quarterback himself.
Nate Wayne coming on a delayed blitz right there, does a nice job of finding the crease, gets a hand on the ball, and that's going to be something that you'll have to watch also. That ball is cold, and what happens is you lose the ability to grip it. The quarterbacks have to be careful when they get under pressure not to have it out there with one hand. We've already seen Brett Favre with a fumble earlier in the game. Jim Miller lucky to get that ball back.
Loss of 5 yards, 3rd down and 14, and the Packers looking to tee off here, showing blitz at the line. 3rd down and 14, and here they come, and the pass caught at the 15-yard line by Ahmad Merritt, and it barely getting back to the line of scrimmage, and that will force 4th down. So Tyrone Williams coming up to the line, and the Bears will bring in Brad Maynard to do the kicking. 23 degrees, and with the wind chill, it's down to 13 degrees. The wind at 8 miles an hour. There was heavier snow earlier this morning, and it has tailed off. Darian Gordon standing on the Bear 40-yard line, and here is a line drive fluttering kick, and it is fielded by Gordon, and Gordon is hit hard, and he loses the ball, and it's knocked back. And the Packers apparently have recovered at midfield. So Ravi Abdullah with a ferocious hit, but the Packers have it in Bears territory. We'll be back.
Now youth players and coaches can learn football from the NFL with the Junior Player Development Interactive DVD Kit. To register to get your kit, go to NFLYouthFootball.com.
What a great hit by Ravi Abdullah, and this is a running back. I mean, you can't do this much better if you're a defensive player. Look at that. Helmet right on the football. He knocks Darian Gordon 2 feet backwards. Packers lucky to dodge another bullet and not have another critical turnover out near midfield. What a great hit.
And there is Darian Gordon.
As much as that hurts on a normal day, it hurts just a little bit more today.
I bet. Abdullah, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, where Packers know full well how hard they hit. Here is the flip to Amon Green, and Green getting back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And Brett Favre, in talking about this game, said, look, even though we defeated this team in Champaign earlier in the year, he says, I know that we're going to see the best of these Chicago Bears today. And Dick Geron, talking to his team, said we did not failed to tell them how significant this rivalry is. It's genuine all the way. And the Bears have had the short end in recent years. 2nd down and 10 at the 49 of Chicago. Here is Favre, and the pass bobbled and caught by Green and hit at the 46-yard line for a pickup of 3. And right now, let's send it down to Ron Pitts.
Well, Dick, you saw the hit on Darian Gordon there. He's got a bruised sternum. They're checking him out right now. Looks like he's just trying to get his wind back, get his bearings back to see if he can get back in this football game. That's it from here, Dick.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Good to have Ron Pitts back at Lambeau. Of course, his father, Elijah Pitts, a terrific running back in his day, playing for Vince Lombardi in the glory days of the Green Bay Packers. 3rd down and 7. And there's Brian Urlacher, who is eyeing Brett Favre. Packers still looking for their first down, and they've got it. Donald Driver on the receiving end, and he regains his footing and inside the 5-yard line. The Bears missed a big tackle, and Driver, getting at least 15 extra yards, picks up 42 in all.
I don't know why everybody continues to say that Donald Driver is not a physical receiver. He catches the tough ball shallow across the middle, and watch him shug off Mike Green right here. You tackle him up high. He has done this several times this year where he has broken a tackle to extend a play. I don't know why they just don't consider him a tough physical football player. To me, every week he shows again and again that he is.
So Donald Driver with the great run, 1st down, and tackled is Ahman Green by Keith Traylor. And Traylor, who has lost his buddy Ted Washington up front on the defensive tackle position, knocks Green back for a 4-yard loss.
Well, it's not very hard to lose sight of Keith Traylor. Now, I don't know what happened right there in the Green Bay Packers blocking scheme, but that's a man you want to account for, and he's pretty easy to find.
Well, what's happening up there, and of course that's plagued the Bears as well, is the fact that Mike Flanagan, who's done a great job as center playing left tackle, it was successful earlier this year when Chad Clifton was out with a knee injury, but right now it is 2nd and goal, and there is Favre dropped inside the 5. Donald Driver cannot hold on, bringing up 3rd.
I think the funny thing that a lot of people don't understand is Brett Favre's not a real big fan of playing in cold weather either. You know, he has to do it, and I think a lot of people feel that that is the advantage when you come to play in Lambeau Field, that Brett is just so good at playing in the cold weather that's where the difference comes. But he doesn't enjoy it either. He throws a good ball. You saw right there, delivered nicely to Donald Driver, but I was surprised to find out that he's not a big fan of playing in cold weather.
3rd and goal at the 8. You didn't have to worry about that in Dallas. Ahman Green splitting, and the pass caught inside the 5 by Bubba Franks and knocked back. So the Bears defense holds and will force the Packers to go for 3. So the Chicago Bears with a big 3rd down stop here.
Bubba Franks doing just a little turn-in route right there, but watch all the Bears come into your screen one after another. You got 4 guys right onto the football, and that's what this defense does. They do not allow you to have any room to breathe once you get a ball.
Mike Caldwell the first to get to Franks. So Ryan Longwell trying to give the Bears some points here. A 21-yard field goal attempt, and the kick is good. Ryan Longwell's field goal cuts the Bears lead to 7-3.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my closet.
With the Packers last year out of Temple University as Chris Chandler inactive. He was the starter last week. Ahmad Merritt returning the kickoff for Chicago, and he is cut down. Whistle did not blow, and picks up a few extra yards close to the 30. Well, great news, America. Andy's back. Andy Richter returns to Fox tonight with the season premiere of Andy Richter Controls the Universe, the show that TV Guide calls the best mid-season comedy. That's tonight at 9:30, 8:30 Central, following an all-new Malcolm right here on Fox. Well, it's been kind of a subdued first quarter for the fans here in Packardom.
Ever since that fake field goal by the Chicago Bears, there's been a big letdown in the stands. I think there was some emotion that they had held into a field goal, but the Chicago Bears pull a little trickery to get those 7 points. They're starting to get back into it now, though.
Marcus Robinson Lined up to the right with 3 wide receivers on first down, and Leon Johnson trying to go outside, and a penalty flag is thrown. Leon Johnson, a good all-purpose back. Ron Winter indicating holding against the Bears.
Holding. Number 71. Offense. Penalized a 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So Big Cat holding, and that will bring the ball back to the 17.
And with the long action on that run play, a very difficult block for James Williams, holding at the point of attack. That play took quite a bit of time to develop.
Bears have been in long yardage situations throughout this first quarter, facing first down and 20. And Jim Miller's back to throw and going to Marty Booker underneath, trying to turn the corner, and he does effectively as he tight ropes his way down the sideline and goes out of bounds and gets enough for the first down. They needed 20, they got 21.
And you have to be aware of Marty Booker's speed. He does a lot of routes underneath coverage, and you consider him a big physical wide receiver, but look at him turn the corner right here on Nate Wayne and Marcus Anderson. He's very deceptive in his ability to break away.
And Marty Booker, as a result of that play, becomes only the 2nd receiver in team history. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Curtis Conway, back in the mid-90s, was the only other Bear to do it. First down on the 38-yard line, play action, and Miller firing in traffic and unable to hold on is Dustin Lyman. And right now, for a game break, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick and Darrell, you know, Carolina trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. Rodney Peete hooking up with the tight end Wesley Walls. That makes it 7-3 Panthers. And this Priest Holmes 5-yard touchdown run makes it 10 straight games with the rushing touchdown. He is the league leader with 21 overall touches. Back to Dick and Darrell.
All right, the early action getting underway around the National Football League. Second down and 10, Leon Johnson out to the 40-yard line for a minimal gain, bringing up third down. Steve Warren making the tackle, starting in place of Gilbert Brown along with Rod Walker. And there you see Aaron Campman coming off the field, suffering the broken hand, inactive last week, and back in the group this week. Bears near the bottom of the league in third down conversions. They need 8 yards. And Miller getting time, and the pass knocked down in midfield by Todd McBride. Des White was the intended receiver, but good coverage that time by the Green Bay secondary.
Des White has got to work back to that football. Todd McBride, a nice play. He doesn't come through the back. He comes over the back and deflects that ball. Des White's got to know that he has to work back to that football to prevent that defender from coming over the top.
So Brad Maynard will kick it away, and Darian Gordon, who suffered a bruised sternum earlier on a tough hit, is back again out there receiving the punt at the 14-yard line. And Gordon carries it out to the 27-yard line, where the Packers will go on offense with less than a half a minute remaining. And so far, Jim Miller hanging in there with the sore elbow and all. And the Bears with the lead. And we want to remind you that coming up next, the second part of our doubleheader, as the St. Louis Rams try to stay in the playoff hunt when they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles with yet another quarterback this week.
What a great performance last week by the Philadelphia Eagles as a team with Coy Detmer. He goes down. Now it's A.J. Feely's turn. The Rams dodge a bullet with their loss to the Redskins last week with the help from the Eagles beating the Niners.
And can the Eagles do it again with a backup? And here is Favre backing up and completing the screen pass to Ahman Green. First down for Green, and losing the ball, but down by contact was Green at the 43 after picking up 15 yards. And that apparently will be the last play of the first quarter. Brian Urlacher
down by contact
downfield to make the tackle, and that will take care of things in the first quarter. Well, the crowd anything but full throat at this point. At the end of 1, Bears 7, Packers 3. We'll continue after these messages.
On reality TV.
Hey, get out! I'm in here! Oh.
All new at 8/7 Central, tonight on Fox.
Lambeau Field still has the same charm, and they have rebuilt a lot of it, and rebuilding some more. The cranes are still out there. 800 more seats will be constructed as we begin the second quarter. First down and 10 for the Packers. Armand Green, and Green picking up 2 yards on the play. It's been 7 weeks since Green has gained 100 yards, and Mike Sherman telling us that he felt he might have lost patience against Tampa Bay by abandoning the running game somewhat. Second quarter has been a charm for the Packers and has been a demon for the Chicago Bears this year, as those numbers indicate. 2nd and 8 coming up for Green Bay. And again, it's Green finding an opening, first down. So the bread and butter, Brett Favre, sticking to the ground. Armand Green with a good block from the wide receiver, Robert Ferguson, picking up 14.
And this is what you have to do with Armand Green. Get him into some quick hitting plays. Take away the speed and pursuit of the Chicago Bear defense. And as you pointed out, Dick, he's into the secondary immediately with a nice block by Robert Ferguson.
Well, Green already carrying the ball 6 times for 22 yards. And the Packers on the Bear 42-yard line. Green in motion to the left. Favre looking to the right and hits the tight end Bubba Franks. And Franks is down at the 36-yard line after a 6-yard pickup by Alex Brown, rookie from the University of Florida. Talking to Brian Urlacher last night, fighting this uphill season. The Bears having lost 8 in a row before last week. Credited the coach Dick Duran. He says a respect for him, one of the main reasons we have stuck together. And here the Bears have a 7-3 lead. 2nd and 4. Favre with the high snap and going downfield and intended for Driver and off the back of Jerry Azuma, and no flag is thrown. Crowd looking for a pass interference call, as is Donald Driver.
Donald Driver gets a nice release. He kind of turns Jerry Azuma a little bit. He's got him beat, but don't forget about safety help over the top. Here comes Mike Brown into your picture. And sometimes Brett Favre, he admitted to us on Saturday that sometimes he gets in trouble because he's fit that ball in before. He knows he can do it. And even though maybe the coaches say that, hey, that's not where that ball is designed to go, he'll continue to take that shot.
And the crowd looking for the call because Azuma did not play the ball. He did not look back. So it'll be 3rd down and the pass incomplete. And a flag comes down. Javon Walker wrestled down by R.W. McQuarters. And this may give the Packers new life.
Pass interference. Number 21, defense. Penalizing the spot of the foul. And a first down.
And the automatic first down.
R.W. McQuarters on the outside. He's got a hand on him, but what he does is he hooks and he pulls Javon Walker as he gets that front arm across. He can't hold on to him and spin him as he goes to deflect that ball away.
Twice this year, McQuarters has been out of action because of injury. Has been back in 1st and 10 now on the 32-yard line of Chicago. On the end around, Donald Driver looking for an opening, and Driver getting inside the 30 and wrestling down by 4 or 5 white shirts, picking up only 3 yards on the play. And right now, let's check in again with James Brown for a game break. JB.
Hey, Dick, what a way to close out the first quarter for Kansas City. Take a look at Dante Hall in the Kansas City record books. Longest punt return for a touchdown, 90 yards to pay dirt, 14-0. Kansas City back to Dick, Darrell, and Ron.
Kansas City, JB, trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. They're trying to get back to 500 today. Meanwhile, here at Lambeau Field, 2nd down and 7 on the Bear 29.
Good job, 4.
Play action for Favre. He's got a lot of time, and falling down down was the receiver Bubba Franks, and it looked like he was open and might have been shaken up in the process.
And another one of those situations where you get a tip ball going back into the secondary. Mike Brown unable to react to that deflection, but stumbling coming out of the break. Brian Urlacher picking him up in coverage. You get a little bit of incidental contact right there. Actually not stumbling coming out of his break, but Brian Urlacher getting tangled up with Bubba Franks.
3rd down and 7. They're scoring on a gimmick play for their touchdown. And the handoff to Amon Green, and Green is going to be snuffed out at the 28-yard line. And a good defensive play by Mike Caldwell and Brian Robinson, picking up about 2 yards. 4th down coming up, and no sign of the field goal team coming in, so the Packers will go for it on 4th and 5 apparently.
I like the call by Mike Sherman right now. This is a field goal attempt that's going to be very iffy with the wind conditions here. Doesn't make much sense to punt in this situation, so why not take a shot?
Packers 5 for 9. They need 5 yards, and here's Favre's pass, and it's in and out of the hands of Jerry Azuma. And so Mike Sherman's Packers fail on their 4th down attempt, and the Bears will take over on downs when we come back.
The Citizen Echo Drive. It never needs a battery because light recharges it. So, what will you do with your battery now that your watch doesn't need one?
I win again. You lose. I win. Oh no, my batteries are dying.
Presenting our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Is that a waterman bag?
Nice phone.
I gotta get a cordless headset.
Funny how the holidays turn even the most serious business people into kids again. Consider Office Depot your toy store, because our people know exactly what business people want for the holidays, and we offer a wide variety of gifts at great prices. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Golf Saturday? Can't. It's my weekend with the kids.
When you need a cup, pour some sugar ramen.
Sugar ramen?
Yeah, soup.
Freeze. A call to the library could help her out. Good thing T-Mobile lets her call whenever she wants. Go.
Says here, pour some sugar on me. I'm hot, sticky, sweet.
The most whenever minutes, free long distance and roaming. Only from T-Mobile.
Get more.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. By T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. By Citizen Echo Drive, a revolutionary watch that never needs a battery. And by Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken.
Darryl, what do you see? We go out to the beach after this game.
Catch a few rays.
Sun, yeah.
It might be the one place that's colder than this booth right now.
After holding the Packers on downs, Bears take over on their own 28-yard line. Anthony Thomas going in motion. Jim Miller going up the middle, and Des White with the reception and fumbles the ball. White fumbles it, his ball's knocked down, and now saying down by contact at the 34-yard line. So the Bears will retain possession and pick up 7 yards in the process.
Well, Des White coming off a big game last week. The one thing the coaches want to see is if he can foul it up, and that ball is out. But the first official came in, ruled down by contact. This play is unreviewable. You can see right there, that ball is knocked out before he is down. But the call on the field, down by contact, and you're going to hear a big boo from this Green Bay Packer fan when that highlight goes up in the stadium.
You know, we haven't heard a big cheer or a big boo today for the Packers, who right now still a little bit numb after that 2-game losing streak, have not shown much zest in trailing. 2nd down and 5, and here is Miller's toss, incomplete intended for Des White. And for a game break, let's check in once again with James Brown.
Hey, Dick, Falcons special teams blocked the punt of Minnesota. Take a look at Mike Vick. Key play here. Vick hooking up 39 yards to Brian Finneran. He will get an over, of course. That led to a 1-yard touchdown run by Bob Christian. It is now 7-all in Minnesota. Back to Dick, Darrell, and Ron.
And, you know, this is a trap game, I think, for the Falcons.
Absolutely. They've been on a great run right now. They cannot overlook the Minnesota Vikings. They have been playing very, very well the last 3 weeks. A victory over the Packers and a tough loss to the New England Patriots last week.
3rd down and 5. And Jim Miller, and throwing underneath on the crossing pattern to Marty Booker. 1st down and running out of bounds at the 45-yard line, picking up 12. So, a hunt and peck kind of offense for the Chicago Bears so far in this game, and the gimmick play on a field goal attempt giving them the 7-3 lead.
And you see the pass selection right there, everything under 10 yards. John Shoup waiting to see how Jim Miller's arm is going to progress during the course of the game. He was worried about possibly having to take some shots early in the football game before it got sore, but up until this point he's content to throw it short.
And the snow picking up a little bit, just light flurries to this point. 1st down on the Bear 45, short drop, and Miller gets it off, but decked at the line of scrimmage for no gain is Anthony Thomas by Niall Diggs. Tell you one thing about Jim Miller. I don't remember a quarterback who is so adept at avoiding the sack as Jim Miller is.
And you know, nobody's going to say that Jim Miller is out of the mold of the mobile quarterback, but that is that pocket presence that you hear a lot of people talk about, and he can just sense the pressure, bides himself a little bit of time, and then he's got really good vision, and he studies so much. He knows where his safety valves are in the route.
Leon Johnson becomes the setback for Chicago. 2nd and 10. Miller going on the outside to John Gilmore, and the rookie from Penn State, who was not drafted, picking up 5 yards in the process into Green Bay territory. So Gilmore forced to play with Davis on the injured list.
And this is another player that the Chicago Bears are very high on. Marty Booker goes deep to draw some coverage down. John Gilmore, a catch on the sideline, unfortunately stepped on the line and lost a few yards as he tries to extend that play down the field.
And talking with Dick Duran, he said Gilmore more of a blocker than a receiver, but he caught that pass, his 1st of the season. And the Bears 3rd down and 5 at midfield. Again to throw, and crossing pattern to Des White, and a 1st down for the Bears to the Packer 42-yard line, an 8-yard pickup. So converting the 3rd down are the Chicago Bears, who lead at 7-3, playing a very smart game, and certainly keeping this Lambeau crowd out of the game.
And keeping the Lambeau crowd out of the game, and keeping that gentleman right there on the sideline, Brett Favre. And one of the things that you have to do when you play the Packers is to have ball control as an offense and keep him off the football field. It's something the Chicago Bears did a great job of last year, but struggled with this year. They're off to a good start this afternoon.
On the 42 of Green Bay, Leon Johnson cutting off tackle and bursting inside the 40-yard line for a pickup of 4. Leon Johnson getting a lot more play. You remember he was known as the natural when he played at North Carolina because he could do so many things, all-purpose yards. Had tough injury situation with the New York Jets. Suffered a torn ACL in the opening game in '99, and then was out all of next season. But Leon Johnson maybe seeing more action than he even expected with Anthony Thomas going into the locker room. 2nd down and 6. Bears in the lead, and play action, and a good fake by Miller, and the pass thrown through the hands of John Gilmore, bringing up 3rd down.
Right there, the first attempt by the Chicago Bears to get the ball down the football field. We've seen all the short catches and runs, and in all of these designed routes that we've seen up until this point, they really haven't had anybody down the field to threaten. Their first shot right there with a little play action to John Gilmore.
There's another playmaker as of late for the Bears is Des White. Leon Johnson and Des White are 2 of the 3, and so far the Bears getting the job done.
And there's that time of possession right there. The Green Bay Packers doing a nice job of maintaining possession, keeping that offense off the field of the Green Bay Packers.
3rd down and 6. And here comes pressure on Miller. He gets rid of it, and the pass to Dustin Lineman, and the tight end knocked out of bounds short of the first down. Actually did not go out, stayed inbounds, and picked up 5 yards, and it'll be 4th down and 1. So now what do you do if you're Dick Geron? You have a terrific field goal kicker in Paul Edinger, who kicked against the wind to win one against Detroit, but he stays off the field, and with 4th and 1, John Shoup and Dick Geron decide to go for the yard.
Very similar situation that Mike Sherman just found himself in. We'll see if the Bears do a little bit better with their 4th down play than the Packers did.
Damon Shelton and Leon Johnson both in the backfield, and play action, and Miller is going to throw, having trouble finding a receiver, and fires it downfield, and it is caught by John Gilmore. And a flag is down back where Miller unleashed the pass. This would be an 11-yard pickup pending the penalty. So John Gilmore forced into action and seeing a lot of activity here in this first half. The call from Ron Winter. And roughing the passer called against the Packers.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 73 defense. Penalized half the distance to the goal. Got a first down.
And there is Mike Sherman with a stern look on his face.
Well, Keith McKenzie, the new addition right there, a little extra shove on Jim Miller. And you talked about his ability to scramble and buy time. What a great job right there. That play is breaking down on 4th and 1. Jim Miller buys his time, gets the ball down the field. Great adjustment by John Gilmore.
And McKenzie with that extra swap. And of course, he's the former Chicago Bear who was critical of the Bears for their game plan earlier in the year. So it's first down on the 11, and here's Leon Johnson bursting inside the 10-yard line to about the 8.
You've got to be smart as a player who's going against your former team. You've got so much emotion, and you want to have such a good afternoon, but you got to guard against doing something foolish. And Keith McKenzie right there, he made a statement during the course of the week criticizing his ex-coaches, and now he's out here with a penalty at a critical time and a critical drive. So he's got to maintain his emotions right now going against his old teammates.
Hey, this Green Bay Packer team has been in a funk, and coming back to Lambeau has not been the magic potion, at least to this point. 12th play of the drive coming up. Here is Miller to throw, and his pass, touchdown! And it's Dustin Lyman who came out of the woodwork with a 3-reception game last week, getting 8 yards. And it is 13-3 on Lyman's 2nd touchdown of the game.
Dustin Lyman just runs a simple curl route down into the end zone, and Mike McKenzie's just a little bit late getting there. Marty Booker does a job of affecting all the coverage, but that's just a nice, easy, simple pitch and catch between the quarterback and the tight end.
So the touchdown pass of 8 yards, and Paul Edinger on board for the extra point. And this crowd is stunned in this long-time rivalry, the oldest in the NFL, and the Bears, with 5:20 to go in the half, lead the Packers 14-3.
This January.
Ron Fitz back here in Green Bay. Injury update from Chicago. Anthony Thomas, he is in the locker room. He has got a sprained index finger. They're checking him out. We'll keep you updated on that situation. He's getting an x-ray. Back up to you, Dick.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. And the Bears have to feel good about themselves. An impressive 12-play, 72-yard drive in which they passed on 10 of the 12 plays. So nothing conservative about the Chicago Bears except the kind of pass plays they are using. Javon Walker fielding the kickoff from the 5. And the Packers trying to get back in the game. Walker gets away from a defender, and it's Edinger, the man who kicked off, who ultimately makes the tackle after a 30-yard return. Paul Edinger, Mr. Special Teams for the Bears.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Coming this February, the world's best drivers return to Fox for the 45th running of the Great American Race. The Daytona 500 drops the flag on 15 weeks of NASCAR coverage, returning this February to Fox. Well, the Green Bay Packers have never lost 3 in a row since Mike Sherman has been head coach, but they trail 14-3. And on first down, the play action, and there is Favre, who dumps it off, and they may even lose a couple. Bubba Franks, the tight end, making the tackle for a 1-yard gain.
And you mentioned it, Dick. This was a textbook drive by the Chicago Bears, but they got a break early in that drive. Des White, a fumble. He's ruled down by contact. He comes back later on with a critical 3rd down catch, and now on 4th and 1, John Gilmore does a nice job of finding a little bit of an opening, and the culmination, a nice pitching catch to Dustin Lyman for the touchdown.
Thus 14-3 the score. Jim Miller hanging in there. Brett Favre trying to get into the game and passing to William Henderson out of the backfield for a pickup of 4 yards. Good tackle, Bobby Howard, the outside linebacker for the Bears, and a gain of only 3.
And Mike Sherman admitted to becoming impatient, not only last week against Tampa Bay in the second half when they faced bad field position, but also against the Minnesota Vikings when they fell behind 14-0 early in that football game. We'll see what his response is this week, but right now, that's 2 passes. He's got to continue to keep pounding Amon Green in that running game.
He has gained 23 yards on 7 carries. And here is Favre still looking, and Favre, who can ad-lib with the best of them. And this pass caught shy of the 50. It'll be a first down. Donald Driver, who has emerged as Favre's favorite receiver.
And he is the guy that he has the most experience with. Donald Driver knows that Brett Favre will continue to extend the play. He continues to work on his route. That is one of the things that he has to work on with Javon Walker, with Terry Glenn, with some of the other receivers. He can throw that ball from any position. There is not a bad situation that Brett feels uncomfortable to throw.
So a first down for the Packers on the 48, and here is Amon Green. And Green has been running well. He's got a first down for the Packers, getting 12 yards. And when you have an Amon Green on your team, you can't abandon the running game too soon, as evidenced here.
And Brett Favre knows how important it is to have Amon Green running the ball effectively. That just makes his job easier. But look at the way he finishes that run. I mean, he's got a guy hanging around his legs, and he just runs right through Damon Moore.
Came into the game having gained 889 yards, closing in for a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season. First down and a fake, and here is Favre on the bootleg, is going to carry himself and slide at the 30-yard line, and the Packers pick up another first down, as it appears. So Green with the run, and now Favre with the bootleg.
And a guy, even with his bad knee and everything else that's going wrong with him physically, you know, he is such a competitor. And actually, Jerry Azuma right there, very lucky. Brett Favre, when he slides in feet first, you're not allowed to come in and hit him. He got away with one right there.
Packers picking up successive first downs on the 30-yard line, and there's Favre quickly to Driver, who is put down in a hurry by R.W. McQuarters, but picking up 5 yards in the process. 2-minute warning here at Lambeau, 1:57 to go in the half.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Gateway, a better way.
Way cool. Way.
2-minute warning here at Lambeau Field. It's amazing how things changed. 2 weeks ago, the Green Bay Packers, best record in the league. Everything will go past Lambeau. Now, right now, the Green Bay Packers wouldn't even get a bye in the playoffs.
And that's the big problem. They do not control their own destiny at this point, and just 2 weeks ago they did. All they had to do is take care of their business. What they've talked about now, winning the last 5 games of the season, this is when everything starts to settle in for the playoff picture and not worry about anybody else.
And this is where they do their best work toward the end of the half. As you can see, they have been very consistent scoring-wise. And Amon Green carries and picking up 6 yards. And a first down for the Packers. Neither team has used a timeout. Here's Favre going to the end zone, and Donald Driver, the intended receiver, broken up by Mike Green.
And that's one of the guys that has been picked on as of late for the Chicago Bears. Mike Green in coverage. A great matchup for the Green Bay Packers right here with their best receiver. A nice play by Mike Green right at the end to get his hand up there to prevent Donald Driver from making that catch. Nice play by Mike Green.
And I noticed the Packers are having problems in holding onto the ball in this cold weather. Remember, this is a new group of receivers, including Terry Glenn, who has not been in the picture yet as a receiver. Mostly it's been Donald Driver and Bubba Franks. 2nd and 10. Here's Favre dumping it off to Green. Green inside the 15 and picking up 6 yards. And it was Brian Knight, a rookie linebacker for the Bears, making the stop. Clock runs. Packers are already in solid field goal range and looking to get the touchdown. And 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Packers, such a good screen team. And they have all the elements, the athletic offensive linemen, a good running back, but to me, Brett Favre, the key, the way he's able to buy time and deliver that ball at the last second.
Packers with a timeout.
My son Brian and I are making sure everyone in Chicago is eating good.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, thanks. You need some nice, hot, chunky soup to fill you up right.
Introducing Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic. Big chunks of savory roasted chicken and loads of veggies.
Are you a good player?
He's a great player. Do you want to see?
Duck, duck, goose.
New Campbell's Chunky Roasted favorites fill you up right.
Introducing Dockers, flat front mobile pant.
Nice pants.
With a pizza this deep, what more could you ask for? How about a deep discount on a second pizza? Now you can get any other medium pizza for the unbelievable price of just $2.99 when you order the Chicago dish at Pizza Hut.
I'm Afghan American, you know. I'm here at the embassy as a translator, but I've been away from this country for 22 years and I still remember the language. The most you can do is pray and hope that this country will finally develop. Being here makes me appreciate what I have in the States. Like my dad said, I'm like a bridge between two cultures.
It's a bridge to understand each other, not to hate each other, to love each other.
See performances by Justin Timberlake, Avril Lavigne, Puddle of Mud, Nelly, Creed, Faith Hill, plus Cher, Michael Jackson, and more. Live, Cedric the Entertainer hosts the 2002 Billboard Music Awards, Monday, December 9th on Fox.
Back here at Lambeau Field as the Packers use up their first of 3 timeouts. It'll be 3rd down and 4 on the 13 of the Bears. Packers looking for their first touchdown of the game, and dropping the pass is Ahman Green, who is open coming out of the backfield, and he would have had at least a first down and might have gone in. And so on 4th down, Ryan Longwell will come on to pick up 3.
And you had just mentioned that they have been having trouble catching the football right here, and that's not what you expect from the Green Bay Packers. They are very familiar with these conditions here at Lambeau Field, and that plays just a little bit out of sync.
So Ryan Longwell will attempt a 31-yard field goal. Earlier made one from 21 yards out. So once again, the Packers blunted in their attempt. The field goal is good by Longwell, and the Green Bay Packers cut the lead to 14-6. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a pleasure to have with us the King, and what an honor to have with us here at Lambeau Field. Richard Petty, great to see you here. You're a football fan, and you've come to these games, haven't you, now?
Yeah, we've come the last 3 or 4 years, brought some grandkids up here, and they love it. They're sitting out there in the cold, so they get the full benefit of the Green Bay games.
Well, if you're going to come to a Green Bay Packer game, you know, what better game to come to than the Chicago Bears in the middle of winter with a nice cold day here.
The Black and Blue League has been there for a long, long time, and these guys, I was always a Redskin fan. And, you know, you sit and you watch them people, and they just beat each other to death, and they're still doing it.
As a football player, they make a lot of comparisons comparisons to the Daytona 500 as the Super Bowl of motor racing. Talk to me about what's so special about that race.
Well, really, you know, we do everything backwards. We don't have our Super Bowl at the end of the season. We start with the Super Bowl. And we've been all winter long, and everybody's getting ready for the new season, new sponsors, new drivers, the whole deal. So the whole racing world, not only the drivers, but the crews and the fans are waiting to see what's going to happen this year. So we got a 3-month build-up here for a show, and that's exactly what happened.
And the kickoff fielded by Leon Johnson, and Johnson brings it out to the 31. Well, you won it 7 times. It's a great race. I know Fox is looking forward to covering it again this year. Richard, great to have you up here.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Fox coming back again. They've been doing a good year the last couple of years. They've done a good job for us, and hoping that they're getting a little bit better every year. So I think all the fans are looking forward to this coming year.
And we're looking forward to seeing you again anywhere you go as a legend of this race and in NASCAR.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for stopping by. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Richard Petty, who has come up and really made a habit of coming to see the Bears and the Packers in recent years. Packers trailing 14-6 with just under a minute to go, and the Bears on their own 33-yard line. Anthony Thomas with an injured index finger in the locker room. So Leon Johnson getting the call and making the most of it, getting close to the first down marker near the 43-yard line. Darren Sharper and Todd McBride combined to make the tackle. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. Scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. So a timeout called by the Bears, and Dick Duran's club holding that 8-point lead right now and really looking very good when you consider that Jim Miller is their quarterback, playing hurt, and all the injuries they've had. Not that the Packers haven't had it. The Bears really showing up well, and a poised outfit thus far for them.
I tell you what, you know, I don't think Dick Duran got enough credit for his achievements last year in a 13-3 season, and he has gotten nowhere near the accolades he should this year. Getting this team ready to play every week and playing with the intensity that they have is a credit to the coaching staff. And I have been on a football team that has been through a difficult season, and I can't even explain how difficult it is in late November, early December, when you are playing for nothing but pride to motivate yourself. And it's a credit to the entire Bears staff and the players on this football team to come out and give the types of efforts that they have over the last month.
Bears have the first down on the 43. 44 seconds remaining. Leon Johnson trying to cut outside, and Johnson getting near midfield, gaining 5 on the play. And the Bears in a hurry-up mode now with 2nd down and 5, under a half a minute remaining. And the handoff again to Leon Johnson, who fumbles it, and the Packers recover at midfield. So the Bears in a hurry up and running the ball, lose the ball, and Niall Diggs with the fumble recovery. And the mistakes that Dick Duran's crew can ill afford, and the Packers get one last chance.
And you felt that last week they had overcome this hurdle, because you talked to Jim Miller and some of the guys, and they said at the end of that Detroit game, we were just waiting to see how it was going to happen this week. And as well as they have played in this first half, you cannot afford to turn the ball over in this situation. They're attempting to run the clock out. Kabir Bajabiamila strips the ball, and Niall Diggs recovers it at midfield. Now Brett Favre, another chance to get some points.
And 2 timeouts, but not much time left on the clock. And here is Favre, and Favre completing to Green up the middle, and Green getting inside the 35-yard line for the first down. And the Packers quickly call a timeout with 14 seconds remaining. A big gain of 16.
Introducing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Covering the entire world of extreme sports. Nightly.
Warner and the Rams. Staley and the Eagles. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues later today.
The Packers a chance, and some of their fans in an early celebration style.
First down for the Pack on the 34 of Chicago. 14 seconds to go in the half. Favre spinning away, and the clock continues to go. Going for the end zone, and the ball knocked down. That pass was headed out of the end zone, and it was Mike Brown who batted down that pass intended for Terry Glenn. So 5 seconds still remain, and now what do you do? And you're not going to try a field goal from out there. You've got to go for the Hail Mary.
Well, you got to do the same thing he just tried to do right there. Is Brett Favre tried to get a ball into the end zone to give one of his wide receivers a chance to make a play, and with only 5 seconds left and them being at the point they are with the conditions, that's about your only option right here at this point. So we'll see if they put a group of receivers together. They're going to spread them out side to side and challenge the Bears.
And the Bears with a 3-man, 8-back front, second down and 10, 3-man front, and here's the pass headed, and it's intercepted by Damon Moore, the former Philadelphia Eagle, who will run out the time. And despite the fact that he has lost it, it's picked up on the deflection, and it's Roosevelt Williams running in, and he is tackled inside the 15-yard line by Javon Walker. So a bizarre finish to this first half. Time had run out, and the Bears very nearly found themselves with a touchdown.
Well, this is one of the things that you have to guard against when you throw the ball into the end zone. If it is intercepted, you have got to let your guys know to go and make the tackle. Now, Damon Moore right here is looking for somebody to throw the ball to. He fumbles the ball right there, but now the Packers have it, so this is a live play. What a great job of hustle by Javon Walker of being heady. Right there, R.W. McQuarters had an opportunity to throw a block. If he looks behind him to pick up Javon Walker, that's a touchdown to go into half.
And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Bears 14, the Packers 6. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages.
Green Bay trying to clinch the division.
All right, JP, let's get you caught up on some scores around the league. Always wanted to say that. Green Bay, Brett Favre, after a fumble, the Bears line up for a field goal. It's a fake. Holder. Maynard tosses this one to Lyman, a tight end, touchdown of 12 yards. The Bears off and running 7-0. Miller back. Lyman again hooks in the end zone. It's then 14-3. 14-6 is your score at half. Favre, 9 turnovers in the last 10 quarters. The Bears are not in hibernation. Good football game.
Last week, they got more banged up, obviously, with the Chad Clifton thing. They've got a number of injuries up there, but to look this bad right now is really surprising.
You got to have a little bit of a hangover effect from that Tampa game as far as the distractions all week long on not only the players, but also the head coach, Mike Sherman.
Well, the hangover thing got me.
Well, I thought you'd like it.
I did like that. I don't understand what's happened. I do know the interception. Favre now with, what, 9 turnovers in 10 quarters, but, you know, a couple of those have been at the end of the half and desperation passes. I don't put a lot of stock in that. And it's cold there. He's a good cold-weather quarterback, but second half, he owns these Bears. Second half.
See,
Mark it down, JB.
Partners don't correct each other on air. They kind of slip a little note to the other guy and let him just do that.
10 turnovers in the last 10 quarters.
Yeah, see, that's the way you work.
I don't
Visa
mind
halftime
I'm used to being
over Tampa game.
I used to stand in the corner a lot. No problem with me.
Visa is proud to celebrate the fans this season. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Halftime, 14-6, Chicago. A bizarre final play that ended the first half, Darryl.
Green Bay very lucky they're not down 21-6 at this point. Javon Walker, he's going to finish that play inside the 5-yard line. But there's number 84 chasing down Roosevelt Williams to make a touchdown-saving tackle inside his own 20-yard line.
3 turnovers on 1 play, and the score at halftime, Bears 14, Packers 6.
I teach high school at home, history, and 2 years ago I was telling my students that this was the worst place on the planet to live. I'll be able to go back and say, it used to be like this, but now I see that slowly human rights are improving here. Oh my God!
Unbelievable. Guys, when I get back, I have stories for you. I promise I'll be home for Christmas. Love you.
Back here at Lambeau Field, the Bears lead the Packers 14-6. And you know, the Chicago Bears playing almost a textbook game considering what kind of underdogs they are coming in, and the Green Bay Packers look like they are still in the same kind of slump that bothered them the last two.
Yeah, they're still playing very sloppy, and we thought that coming back to Lambeau, where they've had tremendous success, and getting away from those two environments that they've struggled in would be beneficial to them. But up until this point, they're still doing the same things that they continued to do during that two-game losing streak.
And Ron Pitts a little while ago visited with head coach Mike Sherman of the Packers.
All right, Coach, your adjustments coming out here for the second half.
We just got to play better. We haven't done very much offensively, haven't converted on third down, and we've turned the ball over in the red zone. We can't do that. Defensively, I think we can shore things up in the second half by what we've already done, but we need to do better on offense. We've got to block them better.
You try to run the ball more. You guys got about 54 yards rushing.
Yeah, we got to be able to run the ball. That was the plan coming in, but it's hard when we're not blocking effectively enough.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Dick Stockton, back up to you.
All right, Ron, a couple of points on that last play. Number one, you know, Mike Flanagan trying to lateral the ball, really a terrible miscue, because it could have been disaster if he had scored the touchdown. The other point is that it was interesting how the Packers and Brett Favre were interested in getting it into the end zone and going deep when they had enough time, Darryl, I think, to get the ball down over the 20 or 25, call a timeout, and still have time to get a field goal and cut the lead to 5. Would put them less than a touchdown apart.
Yeah, just a bizarre ending to that first half, and it's the second play going into the end of the half that we had questions about. The play kind of broke down a little bit. Brett Favre ad-libs by sometimes, but takes time off the clock. So in that situation, that last play, they have to throw it into the end zone, and if not for a great hustle play by Javon Walker, they find themselves down 21-6 at this point.
And you saw Jim Miller, who's getting ready to go to work, and Miller with a touchdown pass to Dustin Lyman after Brad Maynard, the punter, on a field goal attempt and a fake through to the tight end Dustin Lyman, his first 2 career touchdowns. And the Bears in front 14-6, and their defense has done a good job of stopping the Packers when they've had to. Javon Walker is back deep, and Paul Ettinger will be kicking off to start the second half. And the kick is picked up at the 25-yard line by Keith McKenzie. And the lineman showing a little bit of speed, bringing up close to the 40-yard line as we send it down to Ron Pitts.
Well, guys, you heard from Mike Sherman there. I also talked to Dick Duran going in at halftime. He said that fake field goal, they've been looking for the perfect time to pull that off. He felt the Packers had no idea it was coming. He was very happy about that. You may see something like that again. As far as the running game is concerned, he said that Anthony Thomas has a broken index finger. That does concern his run game a lot. You saw Leon Johnson had the big fumble there right before the half. That's it. Back up to you, Dick.
All right, Ron. Johnson gained 25 yards and 6 carries as Amon Green bursts forward and gets to the 45, picking up 7 yards. Green had the longest run from scrimmage at 14 yards and now has carried 10 times for 48 yards, nearly 5 yards a carry.
And that's one thing that they can't lose sight of. And when you've got a guy like Brett Favre at quarterback and the ability to get the ball down the field, I think sometimes you forget about who's behind him. And he's a guy that needs more touches. They've got to get him 20-plus carries during the game.
2nd and 3. Favre ad-libbing. Green as a receiver ducks underneath for the first down, getting to midfield. Packers have lost 2 in a row and looking to clinch the NFC North division title. It's something that they were in a position to do a couple of weeks ago, and they can do it with a win or a tie. Trailing by 8 points. First down at midfield, and here's Green off right tackle with a big opening. Amon Green, and brought down finally at the 20-yard line by Mike Brown. A 30-yard gain for number 30, and Green shaken up as he leaves the field.
Yeah, he is slow getting up, and now he is back down. A good job blocking by the Green Bay Packer front. Mike Sherman challenged them coming out in the second half. We'll see what happens at the end of that run. I can't tell right there, but Amon Green is down on the football field, and they can ill afford to lose him at this point.
Here is Green with the great run, and now concern for the running back at the 20-yard line. And the timeout.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Office Depot. What you need, what you need to know.
Amon Green on his feet, walking on the sideline after the 30-yard gain, coming out of the game and replaced by Tony Fisher, the rookie. And falling down is Donald Driver as Brett Favre trying to go his way. R.W. McQuarters on the coverage. Crowd looking for a pass interference, and there is Brett Favre shaking his head. No flag thrown.
Well, if there was any contact on that play, it was inside the 5 yards, so that is legal by R.W. McQuarters, and looks as though the field conditions getting a little slick out there. Seen a couple guys slipping and sliding the start of the second half.
So Tony Fisher, the undrafted rookie from Notre Dame, in the backfield. 2nd and 10. And Fisher with the carry. And Mike Brown making the tackle at the 18, picking up 2 yards. We're early in the 3rd quarter, and there is Amon Green, who is flexing his knee or leg, and that's what he has done today. An impressive 122 total yards, including 77 on the ground.
Good to see him up just walking around on that leg, because while he was on the football field, they were checking his left knee. We looked at the replay. The only thing we saw is he could have come down and bruised that left knee, so hopefully nothing too serious, and we'll see Amon Green back in this football game.
3rd down and 8 out of the shotgun, and a fake shuffle pass, and the pass caught by Javon Walker. 1st down inside the 10 and close to the 5-yard line. 12-yard gain, and the Packers threatening to get their first touchdown.
A nice design play right there. They fake the shuffle pass to Tony Fisher. That pulls everybody up and allows Javon Walker to get in behind the linebackers in front of the secondary.
And it is 1st and goal on the 6-yard line. 14-6 the score. And the fake handoff. And going into the end zone, touchdown to the tight end, Bubba Franks. Who else do you go to when you get that close, Darryl?
Well, I tell you what, there is a guy you have to be aware of when you get to this part of the football field, and he has become Brett Favre's favorite target, so much so that he had William Henderson right out in front of him, who I think could have walked into the end zone, but he goes back across to try and find Bubba Franks, his usual target down here in the red zone.
So Bubba Franks with his 6th touchdown of the season, and he leads the tight ends in the NFC. The extra point by Longwell is good, and the Packers now trail by 1, 14-3. Favre with his 22nd straight game, a TD pass against the Bears. Well, Amon Green walking into the locker room after being injured on a 30-yard run, and the Packers coming to within 1 now, 14-13. Ryan Longwell will be kicking off. Ahmad Merritt returning for the Bears, and Merritt out to the 31-yard line.
A student acts out.
He's an altar boy.
To hide a troubling secret.
There's nothing that you can tell me that'll shock me. You'd be surprised, Mr. Hanson.
And a principal wrongly accused of attacking a parent fights to keep his freedom.
You're prepared to go to trial?
I'm innocent, Your Honor. An all-new Boston Public at 8/7 Central Fox Monday.
Welcome back to Green Bay. Ron Pitts here. They just took Amon Green into the locker room. Sprained left knee. He got that on the tackle by Mike Brown. They're going to rewrap him and then bring him back out. He's going to try it again.
All right, Ron. Meanwhile, the Bears leading by a slim 1-point margin with a 1st down on the 31, and Marty Booker had his head turned on that pass, incomplete. You know, a lot of fans may wonder why the Packers might not have gone for 2. And I know from our standpoint, it's so early in the game, it's kind of a moot point, Darryl.
If you don't make that 2-point conversion, now you're chasing that other point for the rest of the afternoon, and I think it sends a message to your football team, hey, I'm not confident that we're going to get back down into this part of the field to score again.
2nd and 10 Jim Miller. Interesting to see how the Bears respond here, and Miller's pass is caught by Des White at midfield, and that's the longest completion of the day, 18 yards by Jim Miller. Remember, he is playing with tendonitis in his elbow, did not throw all week.
And this is the role for Des White in this offense. He is their downfield receiver coming off his best career game last week. They need to get him more involved, but their attack today has been underneath with short passes. We'll see if Des gets more opportunities here in the second half.
First 100-yard game of his career against the Lions. 1st and 10 at midfield. Short drop. And the pass to the tight end, Dustin Lyman, who has caught 2 touchdown passes. And Lyman picking up 5 yards before Todd McBride decks him. The other thing about the 2-point conversion is that, sure, you want to get to 14, but that's something you do toward the end of the game. There's so much game to be played that you just have to let it play. And sometimes when you gamble like you do, you find that you've missed an opportunity. (14-13). Nearly 5 minutes elapsed. 2nd down and 5 on the 45 of Green Bay. Leon Johnson forced to handle the ball with Anthony Thomas has a broken index finger and has not returned since he got hurt, picking up 11 yards and a 1st down to the Packer 35.
It's some good blocking in the middle with Olin Kreutz and Chris Valerio, but the thing that Leon Johnson does and why he is their short yardage back is because of his body lean. He runs with a real low center of gravity. You can see that on that run, a very low pad level. He is tough to bring down when he gets going north-south.
And he was known in the South as the natural when he played at North Carolina for all the things he could do, and he was also a quarterback at some point. Here is Johnson off the left side, and Johnson fights his way down to the 30-yard line with Keith McKenzie bringing him down after a pickup of 4.
They've decided to leave the umpires in the NFL in their traditional position in the mix of the front 7, and that's one of the hazards of the job. I think if you ask them, maybe some of them would have liked to have lined up in the offensive backfield where they were last season.
Brian Balliet is the umpire working today. And Ron Winter's crew, 2nd down and 5, under 9 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Leon Johnson, running room. And Johnson gets very near 1st down yardage. Tyrone Williams on the tackle. So the Bears very smartly answering that last foray by the Packers. Picking up 4 yards is Johnson.
And a nice lead block by Damon Shelton on Niall Diggs right here. He gets his outside shoulder pinned. He loses contain. Leon Johnson able to bounce it outside one-on-one with Tyrone Williams.
It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard for the Bears. Quarterback sneak, and Miller has it. Jim Miller, who has been in and out of the lineup all season for the Bears. Chris Chandler, who had started last week, and he is on injured reserve with an ankle injury or inactive in this game, and the backup quarterback Henry Burris.
Got to the point in the game last week against Detroit where offensive coordinator John Shoup told him, I'm going to call a deep pass. If you don't complete it, you're coming out of the game right now because I don't think you're healthy enough to play. Jim Miller will not quit. He will play until John Shoup removes him.
And no threat as a runner. Here is Miller up the middle, and the pass flagged down, and we're going for Marty Booker, and Tyrone Williams on him, and a penalty marker thrown in the end zone.
Well, they threw the marker, but there's the incomplete
pass, but a pass interference call.
And Marty Booker and Jim Miller both running.
Incomplete. Pass interference. Number 37 defense. Spotted the foul is in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 1-yard line. 1st down.
So Williams wanted to make sure the officials knew it was no touchdown, but he was guilty of pass interference.
Well, Jim Miller and Marty Booker both running to the sideline, trying to tell Dick Duran to make the challenge. I tell you, it's hard to tell from that angle. It looks as though he has possession. The ball hits the ground, but it looked as though Marty Booker had possession, and that is a new rule change from a couple of years ago. As long as the ground does not help in gaining possession, it is a catch, but why risk it in this situation? It's first and goal at the one.
First and goal in the one. You only get 2 challenges. Why risk a timeout in case it doesn't go your way? But the referee, Ron Winter, going over to Dick Duran on the sideline.
Chicago has challenged the ruling on the field, but the pass is incomplete.
So they're going to challenge it anyway. Maybe not taking a chance to get it on the 1-yard line.
Well, if you remember the NFC Championship game from a few years ago, there was a play with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and St. Louis Rams where there was a critical completion. This is where that rule came from. If you have possession of the ball, if you have established possession of the ball and the ball hits the ground but does not gain in you attaining possession of the ball, it is now a completion, and that is the case right there. It'll be interesting to see. That's my interpretation of that play. It will be interesting to see if there's conclusive proof from the replays in the official's eye. But that is a new rule from just a few years ago that we've seen happen once or twice over the last 2 years.
So it has to be indisputable visual evidence to change it from the call of an incomplete pass. And so the worst thing that can happen is that it will cost the Bears a timeout, but you know, you need them all here in the second half.
Looks as though Marty's got possession right there. He's pulling the ball up, and then the ball hits the ground. He gets his hands underneath it. But, you know, the other point is, you know, why risk that challenge when you're going to get the ball first and goal at the one? It's not an automatic. A lot of things can happen. Quarterback-center exchange, a lot of different things. But Dick Duran deciding to challenge. You can't get the tail end of the play with that video because Marty Booker comes in and turns his back to try and gain possession of the ball.
Well, maybe Dick Duran told by his people upstairs that there's a really good chance that they're going to overturn the ruling on the field and go for it.
Well, the big thing for the Chicago Bears is they have had such bad luck during the course of this season that, you know, maybe they feel that first and goal at the one is not a guarantee for them. There's a number of things that can go wrong in that situation, and if you have an opportunity to get the touchdown, why not take a shot at it?
Are you saying that if you're having the kind of year the Bears are having, and if something can go wrong, something will?
Absolutely. I have been involved in one of those seasons, and I have seen some really crazy stuff happen. I mean, you really feel comfortable that you've got the game in hand, and then all of a sudden, you still haven't learned how to win a football game, and something crazy happens in the last part of that football game.
After review, there is no indisputable visual evidence to warrant completing the catch in the end zone. Pass is incomplete as ruled on the field. Chicago is charged with a timeout.
Well, it remains to be seen whether the Bears are going to need that timeout later on in this game. They only have 2 left in the second half. It'll be first and goal at the 1 for Chicago. And you know, to change a ruling on the field when you have the ball at the 1 to cost you a timeout on the road in a tight game with the Green Bay Packers, I'm not so sure about that. Fumble. Well, maybe they knew what they were talking about. Packers get it. Rod Walker recovers the fumble.
I've been involved in one of these seasons before, yes, where nothing seems to go your way.
Talk about double whammy. Here again, they have first and goal. They decide to challenge. They lose the challenge, cost them a timeout, and then they lose it on the 1-yard line on the fumble right here. It's that kind of a year for the Chicago Bears. Speaks volumes, doesn't it? Ken?
Dead meat. You're the best. You're the best. Come on, Sergeant.
If they're into movies, go to the one place that has it all. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
There's something I gotta do.
Oh, yeah? What?
I love this woman! I love her!
What are you doing? Stop.
Okay. then I guess this will have to do.
Oh my God. I love this man. I love him. I love him. I love him.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By De Beers, declare your love this Christmas. By Best Buy, for the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. And by Sprint, introducing PCS Vision, clearly a whole new way to look at wireless.
Well, Dick Geron apparently knew what he was doing, because he challenged, didn't get it, and now, after the fumble, the Packers take over at the 1. Tony Fisher gets some running room and gets the Packers out of danger, picking up about 8 yards on first down, close to 9 yards.
But the Bears defense right now has to realize, yeah, we just had a critical turnover, but let's make a stop here and force the Packers to punt. With the wind conditions, they could get great field position back. They can't let what happened on that previous play affect their outlook on this drive right now.
2nd and 1. Brian Urlacher looking in, and the handoff to Fisher. Fisher may have the first down. Remember, Amon Green suffering a sprained left knee after a 30-yard run, and early in this third quarter, and unable to play, so the rookie Tony Fisher handling the ball carrying duties now for the Packers. The other running back who saw action earlier, Najee Davenport, is on injured reserve. Packers have the first down on their 13, trailing by 1, 14-13, have never led in the game. Fisher up the middle. Fisher may have another first down, very close to it. Mike Green making the tackle, and it is another Packer first down.
Well, head coach Mike Sherman talked about his offensive linemen having to do a better job blocking up front this second half, and they have done a nice job on the Packers' 2 possessions. We've seen a number of long runs. We didn't see many of those in the first half. You take a look right there, their average per rush, the difference for the Green Bay Packers, 4.9 in the first half, 10 yards to carry right now, early in the second half.
Favre looking to throw, and he's got Bubba Franks, the tight end, first down, up to the 39-yard line. This drive started at the 1, and a 16-yard pass far to Bubba Franks.
Well, here's one of those throws that Brett Favre makes that other people just can't make. And he's drifting backwards. He's going to throw it off his back foot, actually both feet off the ground, hits his tight end on a crossing pattern in the intermediate level between the linebackers. You just, you can't teach that. You can't coach that. There's a lot of people that probably feel you shouldn't throw that. But he's confident in his abilities.
And falling down is Favre, but not before he hands off to Fisher. And Fisher on a roll, and he churns his way into Bear territory, gaining 15 more yards. So Tony Fisher getting the job done since coming in for Amon Green.
They continue to open up big holes in this Chicago Bear defensive front. Frank Winters getting out on Brian Urlacher, cutting down his pursuit, and Tony Fisher is running very, very hard right now.
5 carries, 39 yards, and there is Winters and Urlacher pushing and shoving after the play. Fisher gaining nearly 8 yards a carry in his 5 attempts. First down in Chicago territory, and this completion to Javon Walker, and no, he was out of bounds, did not have both feet in. So 2nd and 10 coming up, and I'll tell you, the Green Bay Packers have all of a sudden, with a surge after that fumble at the 1-yard line, and it looks like a lot of the air has gone out of the sails of the Bears at the same time.
Well, they're a team, the way their season is gone, you know, we talked about it a little bit. You expect bad things to happen, and Jim Miller was concerned about that last week against Detroit. He really felt that the way they won that football game, that they would have eliminated that feeling. They just got another reminder with their fumble at 1st and goal at the 1. Now the Green Bay Packers looking to go on a 99-yard drive.
Bears turning it over 3 times, as have the Packers. And here is Favre. And Favre going for Glenn, who extends himself and makes the catch. Terry Glenn, and he is shaken up after a brilliant 23-yard reception, and Donald Driver helps to carry him off the field. So Glenn with his first catch of the game.
What a great job by Terry Glenn. He continues to run all the way through the top of that. He extends at the last possible second to go after that football. That is textbook on how to catch a ball that's thrown just a little bit out of your reach. Run through the top of the route and then extend at the last possible second. You'll see a lot of guys leave their feet early. They can cover more ground by staying on their feet. That's the same area of the field that Ahman Green went down and came up. I wonder if that spot of the football field has gotten frozen.
And Brett Favre, who threw for 111 yards and threw an interception. Percentage a lot better so far here in the 3rd quarter, and his touchdown pass to Bubba Franks, bringing the Packers back. Referee stopping the play right now. It is no timeout, and there is Glenn, who was out of bounds and shaken up as we saw Driver take him off the field, now going back to the bench.
A nice job by the officials in that situation. Sometimes when the player does not stay down on the football field and makes it to the sideline, they continue that an extension of the clock, and you continue to roll that clock. With the situation with Terry Glenn there on the field, the referee stop play, allow everybody to get everything situated.
Packers with the first down on the Bear 23. And here's Favre. Favre going into the end zone, and the pass is underthrown, intended for Driver, claiming he was pushed by Azuma or Green in the end zone. No call coming. And the fans also claiming that they thought maybe the Bears were guilty of encroachment.
Well, Frank Winters snaps the ball early. He can't be offside, so this is a good play. A good job of Donald Driver continuing the route. But a lot of contact in the end zone between Donald Driver and Jerry Azuma.
And Driver not agreeing with the no call by the field judge in the end zone. 2nd and 10. 3:18 remaining here in the 3rd. This is a struggle, and somehow the Packers knew it would be that way today against the Bears. Fake handoff, and knocking the pass down was Alex Brown. Tyrone Davis, the tight end, was open, and Brown with an alert deflection.
Tyrone Davis is going to come back into the backfield, then go out on his route. Alex Brown, a very athletic defensive end for the Chicago Bears, started about the midseason point, getting more playing time with Brian Robinson moving down to the tackle position inside. He has been a real bright spot for this defense. He will be a good player in the future for the Bears.
4th-round draft pick from the University of Florida. Wonder how he likes the cold today. Terry Glenn checks in again. The Packer lineup, 3rd down and 10. Here is Favre dumping it off to Tony Fisher. Fisher with some blockers, getting inside the 15, and may be close to the first down, and I think he's got it. Tony Fisher with great second effort getting to the 13-yard line.
And again, it's Brett Favre in the screen. He's the constant. Now we've got Tony Fisher running it in place of Ahman Green, and he just sits there. He baits the rush. It looks like a pass. The linebackers and secondary are going back into their coverage areas, and he just quickly dumps the ball. And then the offensive linemen do a really good job of getting on somebody. They're not just running out in space.
And here is Ahman Green coming back on the field, and those fans that have seen him come on have noticed and are cheering. Meanwhile, it is 1st and 10 for the Packers on the Bear 13. And Favre looking for the Packers to take the lead, finding Donald Driver at the 12-yard line, maybe a pickup of 1. Coverage that time by Jerry Azuma. Brett Favre, who starting his 169th consecutive game, and Keith Traylor, the defensive tackle, helped off the field, replaced by Christian Peter. 2nd and 4 for the Packers. Packers looking to take the lead. Tony Fisher, and Fisher is knocked back and led by the middle linebacker Brian Urlacher, and then Mike Green, and a 1-yard loss for Fisher. 3rd down and 5 for Green Bay. Field goal will put them in front. Green limbering up, and it appears he's poised to get back. Not too soon as far as the Packers are concerned. 13th play of the drive coming up.
Tony Fisher's done a great job on this drive, filling in for Armand Green. They have not missed a beat.
Third and 5. On the fake, here comes Favre throwing into the end zone, and it's tipped. And a fine play by Damon Moore, and it was Robert Ferguson standing in back of the end zone, and Moore alertly makes the deflection, bringing up 4th down.
And here's that shovel pass again that they use the play action off of. Robert Ferguson drifts into an open area. Damon Moore, a nice job recovering, getting back to get a hand on that football.
And Ryan Longwell, who has kicked 2 field goals, now will look to put the Packers in front for the first time today. This will be a 27-yard attempt. And Longwell's kick is good, and the Packers have taken a 16-14 lead, and they had to go the distance after the Bears fumble to score.
Cart here has a little bit of a flat spot. We'll pan up and try and find out what is causing that right here. Unfortunately for the Chicago Bears, it is Keith Traylor being taken off the field, and hopefully nothing serious, but he has played very, very well this afternoon. He is a force in the middle, and without Ted Washington this season, has been asked to do much more as that defensive tackle, and it has played extremely well all season.
Listed at 340 pounds is the listing weight. Look at the Packers scoring drive.
Some of those guys are listed a little bit lighter than they actually are.
That was a 90-yard scoring drive, started really from the 1, and then the field goal, putting the Packers in front. So instead of a 21-13 Bear lead, if they had gotten the touchdown, it's a 16-14 deficit. So that was a major turnaround in that sequence.
And I'm sure that that's what defensive coordinator Greg Blosh right there is telling his unit. Hey, listen, you know, we had an offensive turnover at the 1-yard line, but you guys just allowed them to go 90 yards for the go-ahead field goal. And that, you know, sometimes when you have a turnover like that, it's more of what happens after that turnover than the turnover itself. And the Bears defense still in a good position to give their offense good field position back, but they let one slip away.
Darian Gordon forced to hold the ball on the kickoff. Leon Johnson. Good return. Hard to bring down. Leon Johnson with a return of 29 yards. And Darian Gordon, who was the holder, making the play. Coming up next, the second part of our doubleheader, St. Louis Rams looking to stay in the playoff hunt when they travel to Philadelphia to take on the tough defensive-minded Eagles, or the Seahawks battle the division-leading 49ers. And the full day of NFL action continues next on Fox. Well, can the Eagles keep it going with defense and backup quarterback Andy Reid doing a great job last week calling the play?
That whole team elevated their level of play last week against San Francisco. The big question, can the Rams bounce back from a game that they probably felt knocked them out of the playoff race, but they're right back in it.
From the 35, Jim Miller with his team trailing, and nearly an interception on the deflection. It was Marty Booker who had a hand on it, and then Marcus Anderson behind him. And good defense, Cledius Hunt on Jim Miller.
Cledius Hunt getting there from the right tackle position. You'll see him work around Kevin Doggins. Jim Miller gets the ball. That is the danger when you throw the short passes over the middle. You see the hit right there on his back. When that ball is deflected or tipped or affected in any way, there are a lot of defenders in the middle of the field that can take that ball the other direction.
And no question, Darryl, the flow of the game has gone over to the Green Bay side. The pendulum has swung. And with under a minute to go in the third, the Packers with the lead. and with the impetus and the pass and making the interception in front, and it is a pick by Tyrone Williams. Marcus Robinson was the intended receiver, but Williams had ideal position in front of him, and the Bears turn it over for the 4th time.
Well, that's a throw right there that Jim Miller would like to have back. Marcus Robinson one-on-one with Tyrone Williams on the outside. He plays that about as well as you can. When the receiver turns to look up the ball, Tyrone Williams turns around and he is in perfect inside-out position to make that interception.
And Tyrone Williams now with the interception. And problems for John Shoup and the Bears offense, trailing by 2. Tony Fisher remains in the game and carries on first down and picks up a yard to the Packer 46-yard line.
We'll see if the Bears defense can recover from that miscue by Jim Miller right there. And you know, I'm not going to say anything bad about what that guy is doing on the football field, because what he is playing through the last 3 weeks of this season, absolutely amazing. He can't do any more damage to that shoulder or that elbow, but he tells us how much pain he's in during the course of the day. He doesn't throw all week long. He only takes a few throws in pregame. So yeah, you're allowed to have a mistake when you're gutting an effort out like Jim Miller.
Here's Favre on the screen to Tony Fisher, and Fisher trying to dive his way into Chicago territory, gets there, and that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter after a pickup of 5. Packers lead the Bears 16-14. Fox NFL Sunday continues.
Everybody's got a little Jeep adventure in them. Isn't it time you let yours out? Now during Jeep Adventure Days you can, because during this factory-authorized limited-time opportunity, you can get 0% APR financing on Jeep Liberty, or get a $1,000 cash allowance and make no monthly payments for 90 days. Plus get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. No one else gives you all that. So hurry to your Jeep dealer and find the Jeep Adventure in you. Check one out today.
Go inside the Lions locker room tonight at 10:35 on the Fox 17 Sports Ticket.
Back here at Lambeau Field as we start the 4th quarter, the Packers, who are trailing 14-6 at the half, now leading 16-14. And there is Armand Green working to get back into the lineup. Tony Fisher has done a terrific job with Green out of there with the sprained knee. Went into the locker room and then came back. Bears lost Anthony Thomas, their starting running back, with a broken index finger. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Packers on the Bear 49-yard line. Dick Stockton, Darrell Johnston, Ron Pitts. Packers 8-3 on the year, and still have hopes of a home field advantage, because there's a lot of football left to play, and just because Tampa Bay has a 1-game lead, and in essence a 2-game lead, because if the Packers were to tie the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay, by virtue of the tiebreaker, would have that advantage. But there is plenty of time left after today, 4 games in the regular season. Gets away, and Favre has Glenn, and the pass is incomplete. Good defense downfield by Roosevelt Colvin on Terry Glenn after Mike Green came up on a safety blitz.
Yeah, he comes right up the middle. Brett Favre does a nice job of sidestepping him right there, buying a little bit of time. Roosevelt Colvin, what a nice job of hustle down the field. He's one-on-one with Terry Glenn. He was hoping to be able to knock him down as he came on the crossing route. Gets his hands up in the way. Didn't have his head turned back, but a nice job with the linebacker on a wide receiver.
Josh Bidwell punting on 4th down, and a good one. Leon Johnson back there, and the ball will bounce into the end zone, touchback. And the Bears will get it back. 49-yard kick by Bidwell. We'll be back.
All the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've got no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Introducing Dockers flat front mobile pant.
Nice pants.
Only Remington has the most cutting blades, the fastest cutting speed, and the most total floating head action. How important is that? Well, how important is a close, comfortable shave? Remington, what a great shave feels like.
Oh my gosh, you are so wonderful.
Thank you.
I mean, you're so pretty and tall, and who does your hair? And your smile. I know I'm babbling on, and meeting you, it's just made my day.
You're just saying that because I'm on TV.
You're on TV?
Use any Visa card this holiday season and everyone will want to be nice to you, because each time you use your Visa card, you could win $10,000 for you and $10,000 for a friend.
Oh my gosh, I think you are so wonderful.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be. By Dockers Stain Defender. Don't be the one without it. By IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. And by Lexus, introducing the V8 powered GX. A new kind of adventure begins.
Hunting always a big part of the culture up here in Wisconsin. We see the camouflage jacket, but that gentleman better make sure he changes hats before he gets out in the woods.
I think he wants to just stay in Lambeau Field in the friendly confines.
He's hunting something else with what he had in his hand.
Leon Johnson, nothing. Opening minute of the fourth quarter. Packers leading 16-14. This has been the oldest rivalry in the National Football League. They started back in 1921 when Darrell Johnson used to watch television black and white set with Chicago Staleys. George House against these Packers. You remember those early days.
Curly Lambeau.
Second down and 9. And here's Jim Miller. And Miller's pass caught by Des White on the crossing pattern. May have the first down, but first for a game break, let's return to James Brown.
Hey, Dick, Minnesota has owned Atlanta in Minnesota. Here, a 1-yard run by Michael Bennett caps a 41-yard drive, and it is down Minnesota on top, 21-14 back to Dick, Darrell, and Ron.
All right, JB, and of course the Atlanta Falcons right now would be one of the 6 teams. They would be a wild card playoff team at this moment, with the 7-3-1 record, but that's in jeopardy. Bears with a first down. Leon Johnson, and they have stuffed the run. Cledius Hunt that time for the Packers, no gain.
Boy, he has just raised his level of play the last few snaps. Cledius Hunt right here. This is about the 4th time in the last 6 snaps that he has just been right into the offensive backfield, disrupting everything, running plays, passing plays. Just he's playing very inspired right now.
And he is, and he's doing it a little extra deal with Gilbert Brown out with an ankle injury. So Hunt has raised his game a notch. 2nd and 10 on Bear 30, and a little fancy play as both running backs come out in motion, lined up to the right. The pass to the left to Stanley Pritchett in his first catch of the game, the backup fullback, and a 7-yard gain out to the 36. Tyrone Williams brings him down.
And one of the things that Stanley Pritchett and Leon Johnson do for the Chicago Bears is allow them to get into traditional 2-back sets, but then open up the formation because they are very athletic, have good hands, and are able to run different routes besides the running back routes from flexed out formations.
And all Gilbert Brown can do is watch and lead the cheers. 3rd and 4 for Chicago. Tight formation, and Leon Johnson in motion. Jim Miller looking for a receiver, has one. Short of the first down, Des White, and the ball is loose. And the Packers get it back, so the Bears now have 5 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. And the Green Bay Packers have it in Bears territory as White coughs it up, and it was Tyrone Williams who forced the fumble. So things continue to get dim for Dick Duran and company.
Mr. Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month.
Right. So
every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
great. So they can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back.
You work for the cable company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why settle for cable? Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
What are these? Magic business binoculars. How do they work? You look through them, you see the future of business. Wow. The future sure looks different.
What do you see?
It's a 3D holographic projection of the world to come.
Things move fast. Everything's integrated. Everything works in real time.
How'd we get everything to work?
I don't know. It says I need another quarter.
This January, 20 women have been invited to a chateau in France to win the affection of one man who's wealthy beyond their wildest dreams.
He's a hottie.
He's handsome, he's charming, and he's everything a woman could want. But things aren't always what they seem.
Oh my God.
Joe Millionaire. Discover his secret this January on Fox.
Is America ready for The Simpsons on reality TV?
Hey, Ma, our crap shack's going to hell. Watch your potty mouth.
Hey, get out! I'm in here! Oh.
The Simpsons, all new at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
Here at Lambeau Field, it has been a struggle, but the Green Bay Packers, who outscored the Bears 10-0 in the third quarter, now trying to take advantage of the 5th turnover by Chicago. First down on the Bear 35. Brett Favre with a pump fake, and Favre's pass, and it's caught inside the 30-yard line by Robert Ferguson. Well, what do you do when you're in Green Bay? There's always the tailgating, and you cook brats. And we had the opportunity to do it with Daryl Moose Johnson as chief chef.
And I have to go to my sous chef, Wade Junko, who did the parboiling in the beer and the sauerkraut and the onions. And that's your 7th one right there, Dick, in your hands. So actually, a few guys on the crew missed out, but we were able to get some inside to replace the ones that were missing.
Amon Green back in the lineup for the Packers, and he is short of the first down by close to 4 yards. So Green back in and gingerly getting up. What do you mean 7?
Is it only 6?
And Green now trying to go and is going to have to come out of the game. And Tony Fisher, who has done yeoman work in place of Green, will go back into the lineup.
Absolutely. At this point of the football game, you know, you'd love to have Amon Green in there, but Tony Fisher has done a great job filling in for him. Don't risk aggravating that injury that Amon Green sustained in the third quarter.
39 yards on the ground for Fisher, averaging nearly 6 yards per carry. Here is Favre. His pass. Great catch by Terry Glenn in a first down. So a week after, Terry Glenn and Brett Favre did not seem to be on the same page at Tampa Bay, clicking here in the second half.
A couple of those interceptions were adjustments at the top of the route, but this week they have been very in sync. And one of the things that offensive coordinator Tom Rosley worked with was making sure they understood what was to be expected at the top of the route. And again, you see Brett Favre being able to deliver the ball from an awkward position with a defensive lineman bearing down on him. You can't say enough about the arm strength of Brett Favre.
16-yard gain for Brett Favre. And Terry Glenn, first down at the 12. The blitz, Favre going into the end zone, and it is ruled touchdown. Robert Ferguson, and the Bears are protesting. Robert Ferguson backing away, and this would be a 12-yard touchdown pass. And now the other official coming in ruling that Ferguson did not have both feet in bounds.
Yeah, and this was kind of an obvious one. I don't know if the official was blocked at the end of the play, but a good job of working together as a group. The other official comes over and waves this one off. You can see right there as the second foot comes down, it is out of bounds. A good job by that crew working in conjunction together.
But how can you call it a touchdown in the first place? There is no way you would call it a touchdown, even though they did a good job in correcting it. This wasn't even close. So it'll be second down and 10 on the 12. Packers leading by 2. And of course the Bears trying to prevent the touchdown. Here's Fisher on the handoff. Fisher with great running, getting the first down inside the 5 and close to the 1. Tony Fisher, an undrafted rookie from Notre Dame, making the most of his chance with Green injured.
What a cut right here at the beginning of this run. He gets right inside Damon Moore right there, then runs through an arm tackle and all the way down to the 2-yard line. That is a great physical run by Tony Fisher.
50 yards on 8 carries for Tony Fisher. First and goal at the 1. And Bill Ferrario, who plays right guard, is reporting as an eligible receiver at tight end number 63. Handoff, and Fisher, no gain on the play, bringing up second down and goal.
Can't say enough about what Tony Fisher has been able to do coming in for Ahman Green, allowing him to be able to stay on the sideline and not do anything more to that injured knee. And that last run, a little bit of everything that you want to see from a running back. The vision to be able to cut back inside a safety who's coming up hard in support, and then the strength to run through some arm tackles with that good forward body lean to get you down to the 1-yard line.
Fisher had carried 22 times coming into this game. He has 9 attempts so far. And here's Favre looking to throw it. He's got it. And William Henderson gets in. Touchdown Packers.
Well, Brett owed William that one, because on the touchdown pass to Bubba Franks, I really felt he had William Henderson pop open right in front of him. He turned around and went back to the middle of the field to Bubba Franks, but he wasn't going to let it happen to him twice. Roosevelt Colvin coming on the blitz, hard off the offside. Brett Favre able to get his head turned around quick enough, finds William Henderson for the touchdown in the flat.
So the Packers spinning a shutout here in the second half. And here is Ryan Longwell in an attempt to give the Packers a 23-14 lead, and he does. Now this game has changed dramatically in the second half. Bears appearing to be running out of gas.
Honey, look, our first Christmas.
Yeah. You remember what I gave you?
A stuffed reindeer?
I think I did better this year.
This holiday, what can you give the woman who said she'd love you forever and has? The Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the artisans at Leo Schachter. The first diamond to be independently measured and certified for its superior fire, sparkle, and brilliance. And like all diamonds at Kay, every Leo is hand-selected.
You did a lot better this year.
Every kiss begins with K.
Go ahead. Open it.
Oh my gosh.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
It's beautiful.
Mom, open it.
You'll find great values whether you buy or lease.
We did it.
Go on. The December to Remember sales event.
Hey, what you got?
Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
Come on, let's go. You like it?
See your Lexus dealer.
I used to worry about money. Then I got Brown. Brown helps me figure it all out. Brown manages my inventory, fills my orders, then ships them to retailers anywhere. And here's the cool part. It saves me money, so I have the cash to keep my business growing and my people stoked. They're stoked.
Order fulfillment, distribution, one company. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Warner and the Rams. Staley and the Eagles. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues next. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Back at Lambeau Field, the Packers leading the Bears 23-14 with 8:09 remaining as the Packers take advantage of yet another Bear turnover. 5 in the game, and the kickoff by Longwell. Ahmad Merritt Returning for Chicago. Merritt still on his feet and edges his way to the 36-yard line. A return of 23 yards. Well, Bears have their work cut out for them now, including Jim Miller. The Packers have taken this game.
Aha! Spider-Man! What's cracking, baby? Woo! Hey! Where you going, Spider-Man? Woo-hoo! Ha! You're getting the girl. Saving the day. Yeah! Go, Spider-Man!
If they're into computer stuff, go to the one place that has it all, like Spider-Man, the computer game. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Go get him, Spider-Man, yeah!
It's a deal worth a double take. It's Applebee's new Take Two. Choose 2 from 4 delicious entrees to make 1 mouth-watering plate. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear this holiday season. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear. For your free team catalog, call 877-NFL-SHOP or go to NFL Shop on NFL.com.
For anyone who's ever done hard time at the office,
I didn't see coffee.
Do you see it now?
comes the comedy that proves your coworkers
Once, I forgot how to use pants.
are as crazy as you think.
What kind of monster are you?
Andy Richter, season premiere at 9:30 tonight on Fox.
17 unanswered points by the Packers in the second half. And they lead 23-14, trying to extend their winning streak over the Bears to 5 in a row. And 16 out of 18. They have dominated this long-time rivalry in recent years. First down, and Miller falls down, and that's a familiar sight from what we saw last week against Detroit. But right now, let's get a game break from JB in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, another familiar sight. Take a look at Michael Vick. What does he do? Nothing there. Oh, I'll take it in. 28 yards to pay dirt. His 7th rushing touchdown of the season. All tied at 21 in Minneapolis. Back to Dick, Darrell, and Ron.
Good sign right there for the Atlanta Falcons and their fans. A game that you mentioned earlier, Dick, could be a trap game. They're hanging in there, playing tough.
They bring Shelton and Leon Johnson out to the right on 2nd and 17, leaving the open for Dustin Lyman. And Lyman still will be about 8 or 9 yards short of the first down after that play. Lyman, of course, with his 2 first NFL career touchdown catches in the first half, as the Bears resorted to trickery on a fake field goal. Brad Maynard with the shuffle pass to Lyman for the first score. The Bears led up to 14-13 before the Packers took the lead late in the third quarter and added to it here in the fourth. 3rd down and 8 for Chicago. Jim Miller all the way. Did not throw a pass during the week. And they're trying to hang in there, a very game quarterback. And here is Miller, and overthrows his intended receiver, Marty Booker, bringing up 4th down.
The Green Bay Packer defense not wanting to be outdone by their offensive performance this half. Both sides of the football coming out and doing a great job after intermission. Mike Sherman very disappointed in the effort that his team was giving in that first half. Obviously, they received the message that he was getting across. They have played very well on both sides of the ball.
Brad Maynard will kick it away. Darian Gordon to return for the Packers. It'll be decent hang time right here as Gordon backpedals inside his 15. And with the fair catch, with 6:29 showing on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Rams, Eagles, Seahawks, and the 49ers. Second half of our Fox doubleheader. Packers, who are undefeated at Lambeau, 5-0 this year, and of course a couple of weeks ago we're sailing along at 8-1. They would have had home field advantage, never have lost a playoff game here. Lost that step with defeats at Minnesota and Tampa Bay, trying to get back on track today against the Bears. Not playing well in the first half, but have turned things around here in the second. First down, handoff to Tony Fisher, and it's Philip Daniels, and a loss on the play. Well, Darryl, let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture of the 4 division leaders, the 2 wild card people. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Green Bay, San Francisco lead their divisions, and right now Atlanta, New Orleans would be the wild cards and the chasers.
Yeah, and then you see Giants in St. Louis. They're vying for a chance to get into that wild card situation. But some big games this afternoon. We have the St. Louis Rams playing the Philadelphia Eagles later today. We've seen Atlanta in a dogfight with Minnesota, so possibly some change in that scenario after today's games are over.
Donald Driver with the reception and a short gain. Giants are leading Tennessee 26-20 in their game at Giant Stadium. 3rd down and 8 coming up. Packers can clinch the NFC North with a victory today. But of course they have bigger things in mind, as we know. Third down and 8. Bears would need 2 scores to get back in this game. Here is Favre on 3rd and 8, running away from trouble, and the pass dropped by Ferguson, bringing up 4th down. That time Alex Brown talked about how well he has played as a rookie for the Bears, chasing after Brett Favre, but a flag has been thrown, and it'll go against the Packers.
Ineligible man downfield. Number 68 offense. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Again, Brett Favre able to move out, and he just throws from some of the most awkward positions that you'll see a quarterback throw. And we talked to him about it. There's sometimes when he throws with both feet off the ground, and he says it's because of the torque that he can generate. He said it's very simple, but we went and took a look at the equation for torque, and I don't think it's that simple.
Well, Josh Bidwell will punt it. I don't know how. We have to do a lot of research to get that formula. Here is Leon Johnson returning, gets good field position for the Bears, but I don't know where we would find that formula for torque. I mean, we have no scientists on our crew. Where could we find this very technical, mathematically complicated? Well, there it is, the formula for torque of all places.
And obviously very simple, you know, in Brett Favre's eyes. There's nothing to it, you know. The fact that, you know, if I'm backpedaling off my back foot or with actually both feet off the ground, it's just simply the torque that I can generate. So for all you young quarterbacks out there, you know, if you can break down this equation right here.
Hey, a relative of Albert Einstein is maybe part of our crew. I'd like to see it again. I think I'm getting it now.
I was almost there.
Torque, of course, he says he does it with his hips.
Hips?
Right?
And arm.
And arm. Well, it works. First down for the Bears on their 49-yard line. Miller dumps it out to Dustin Lyman. Lyman looks like a pretty good tight end, just developing in his 3rd year, and he gets a first down for Chicago.
It's interesting to see both of these teams. We've talked about the injuries that they have had, and they've had another guy step up in somebody's place, and John Davis just coming into his own as a tight end for the Chicago Bears, doing some nice things in the passing game. He goes down, and now it's Dustin Lyman's turn. He's taking advantage of this situation, has had a very nice game this afternoon.
Tennessee getting that extra point, 26-21. Trailing the Giants, who are right now on the outside looking in the playoff race. First down, and Jim Miller finds Leon Johnson, breaks a tackle, and Johnson gets another first down. It was Keith McKenzie who had a hold on him and lost it, and the Bears get 12 yards out of it.
Well, you can see why Leon Johnson is their short yardage back. They've got a zone blitz on Keith McKenzie coming across. That's a defensive lineman. Leon Johnson breaks that tackle. A good job of sensing Marcus Anderson coming from behind. Watch here as Marcus Anderson comes in to make the tackle. gets the ball put away and secured, something the Bears have struggled with this half, their turnovers.
Could this be a second win for the Bears? And this pass for Leon Johnson is incomplete. Bringing up second down with 4:03 on the clock. Jim Miller trying to bring the Bears back. Bears have turned it over 5 times today, and 2 of those turnovers have resulted in Green Bay scores. Total yardage, maybe a lot more than you would have expected on a cold, windy day like today.
And the big thing right there in the second half, you can see the Green Bay Packers have absolutely taken control of this football game, but a lot of that courtesy of the Chicago Bears, their inability to hang on to the football.
2nd and 10 on the Packer 27. Show blitz, come with blitz, and the throw, trying to get it to Lyman, is incomplete. One of the big moments of the game, the Bears thought they might have a touchdown pass. It was ruled incomplete. They challenged it. Actually, the ball was down on the 1-yard line. It would have been 1st and goal at the 1. They challenged. Say, why would Dick Duran want to challenge it and lose a timeout? He lost a timeout, and they fumbled on the very next play. Did the Bears, and the Packers went down the field and got the field goal that put them in front.
A 10-point swing in that critical series of events right there in the 3rd quarter.
Talk about big plays. One coming up here. 3rd down and 10. Jim Miller down, sacked, and a big loss of 7 yards, and it was Hardy Nickerson with the sack and the 2nd of the game. 4th down and long coming up.
And this offensive line has held up pretty much the entire afternoon. They get pressure from both the sides. Hardy Nickerson comes in through the middle to clean up, but this is a makeshift offensive line. That sack puts them in a difficult position now to make a decision. They're going to go with the 52-yard field goal attempt by Paul Ettinger.
And a long one for Ettinger. The Bears needing 2 scores, trying to get one of them here with under 3.5 to play. 52-yard field goal attempt, and it is hooked way off the mark, no good. And the Packers will take over, clinging and maintaining that 9-point advantage. If you're opening up a magazine and you wanted to see snapshots of today's game, there you would have them. And the crowd enthused over the Packers command right here, Tony Fisher, and he is going to be a major hero if the Packers go on and win this game. Tony Fisher picking up 8 yards on 1st down, and the clock winding down to 3 minutes to go in the game. Fisher has picked up 56 yards on 11 carries in relief of Amon Green, who went out with a sprained knee, came back from the locker room, tried to go, and limped off the field. 2nd down and 2. For the Packers, just shy of midfield. Here's Fisher. Why not? Tony Fisher has been doing it all of the second half, going outside, and a huge gain to the 34-yard line. A flag is down after Fisher goes out of bounds, picking up 17. And a personal foul against the Bears. Frustration setting in. Darryl?
Absolutely.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, number 30 of the defense. 15-yard penalty and a 1st down.
More so from what happened with the score when they fumbled on their 1-yard line has been the mentality of the Chicago Bears. They sensed that frustration that was part of their 8-game losing streak. During that streak, the players talked to us saying it seemed like we were just waiting around for the inevitable to happen when a bad play would come up and keep us from winning a close football game. Since that fumble on the 1-yard line between Jim Miller and the center, things have just gone downhill for the Chicago Bears and continue to at this point.
1st down on the 26 of the Bears. Packers lead 23-14. Looking to break the 2-game losing streak, and Tony Fisher a big reason why they are in solid position to do that. Fisher getting 5 more yards for the Packers. And a 2:16 to go. Timeout, Chicago.
Timeout.
We'll be back.
Chicago.
My name is David. I play offense. I play center. I play guard. I play defense. Vincent. And sometimes I play tackle. Sometimes I play defense. Because I play right guard. I play linebacker. I play running back. I play fullback. I play right guard. Tackle. My name's Casey and I play football.
And the Bears with 1 timeout left, and they'll have the 2-minute warning as well, leading 2 scores. But there's been no indication in the second half, and a stark contrast to the first, that the Chicago Bears look like they have anything to take it down and get 2 scores.
No, they have not been able to hold on to the football. Their defense has not been able to make a critical stop when it needs to, and it's just been a different football team since that big key turnover when they had 1st and goal at the 1.
Fisher running nearly at will, getting inside the 10, close to a 1st down.
And there's nothing more demoralizing for a defensive unit when the offense is just continually running the ball just straight down your throat, and that has really been the case since about the midpoint of the 3rd quarter. This Green Bay Packer offense has just taken control of the football game between the offensive line, the defensive line. This game has totally shifted to the Packers.
Final timeout used by the Chicago Bears. Brett Favre with 221 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Amon Green, the leading rusher right now, but Tony Fisher gaining on him very quickly, and Tyrone Williams a huge day on the defensive side of the ball.
5 turnovers. Williams forcing a fumble, getting an interception, part of the great defense today. But Tony Fisher, a rookie from Notre Dame, and Notre Dame fans hanging their heads today after losing to USC yesterday in the season finale. We're in position for a BCS Bowl spot, and that's going to go by the boards. But Tony Fisher getting it done for the Shamrocks today, huh? 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, and they give it to Tony Fisher. Fisher stumbles his way to the 5, and the 2-minute warning with 1:59 on the clock. Packers just about 2 minutes away from wrapping up the division title.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Michelob Light, the beer with a smooth taste and a nice finish.
The world is spinning round and round. It's got me up. It's got me down. I'm not sitting around. I'm not waiting. I'm not sitting.
I win again. You lose. I win. Oh no, my batteries are dying.
Presenting our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
I'm not exactly a small person. Never have been. There aren't many things made for someone like me. Not many things at all. The Black & Decker swivel drill is. It works in 5 different positions, so I don't have to. It's pretty cool for a little guy.
The swivel drill from Black & Decker.
Go ahead. Open it.
Oh my gosh.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
It's beautiful.
Mom, open it.
You'll find great values whether you buy or lease.
We did it.
Go on. The December to Remember sales event.
Hey, what you got?
Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
Come on, let's go. You like it?
See your Lexus dealer.
Well, the Lambeau Field crowd not doing much early in the game. It was the quietest I had heard them in some time, Darrell, but reason to celebrate. right now as the Packers have totally dominated the Bears in the second half.
It has really been a different football game here in the second half, and to me the big thing, the offensive line has just taken over the game for the Green Bay Packers. They have been running the ball much more effectively here in the second half and have controlled the flow of the football game.
Bears are out of timeout. Second down and goal. Tony Fisher fighting his way down close to the 2-yard line. Well, the Packers ending their 2-game losing streak on the road, coming back home where they will go 6-0. This is their remaining schedule. Tough one at San Francisco, which could be a tiebreaker kind of game for them. And they finish against the New York Jets, who right now are in playoff contention in the AFC.
And they are 0-2 on the road this year against teams with winning records. So both of their remaining opponents, the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets, both with winning records. Those will be the big tests, a little bit of payback for the Minnesota Vikings, but be careful of those Buffalo Bills coming here to Lambeau Field.
Yeah, they know how to play in the cold weather. Third down and goal. Here's Fisher, and Fisher touchdown. How fitting that Tony Fisher, with the kind of game he has had since Ahman Green went down to his Lambeau Leap, gets to score a touchdown. So Tony Fisher with his first NFL touchdown, and the Green Bay Packers rolling here in the second half. And if Ryan Longwell succeeds on the extra point, 24 unanswered points. A stunning turn here in the second half at Lambeau Field, and the kick is good, and the Packers have extended their lead over the Bears to 30-14.
We've been talking about this offensive line in the second half. This is just a simple short yardage goal line play. A tremendous surge by the guys in the middle of that line. They make it look easy for Tony Fisher.
Tony Fisher, 59 yards gained on 17 carries and a touchdown.
It's got to be fun for a rookie playing up here in Green Bay when you get that, not only your first touchdown, but you get to do the first Lambeau Leap off on top of that. Congratulations to Tony Fisher.
So the Green Bay Packers on the brink of their 4th division title in the Brett Favre era, and the first since 1997. 30-14 the score. Today's game produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director, Charles McDonald. The broadcast associates, Wayne Wilson and Robert Slosby. The technical producer, Bob Mueller. Pre-game shows produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor, Jack Simmons. The senior producer is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And the kickoff returned by Ahmed Merritt out to the 32-yard line. And our thanks up here to Chris Visser and Rick Odioso, who's slowly getting over Notre Dame's loss to USC yesterday, but delighted to see Tony Fisher play so well as a rookie in a Packer uniform.
We didn't have a real good weekend for our alma maters here in the booth.
I knew you would bring that up.
Well, you know, we can't give Rick a hard time with the way Syracuse played yesterday.
Hey, anytime you're 4-8, I'm not sure what bowl the Orangemen are going to. First down the 32, Jim Miller all the way at quarterback. And a very game Chicago Bear team running out of gas. Too many turnovers. Dustin Lyman with the completion with under a minute.
Second and 3.
Second down and 3. And Jim Miller will dump it off to Leon Johnson, who was hit. Gets the first down by Marcus Anderson.
And here was one of the big concerns coming into this football game, the injury to Chad Clifton. They were going to go with a new offensive line group, but this group has played before. You look at some of those victories over New England, over Miami. Those are quality wins. And another win for that group. They now moved to 4-0, and they really took control of the game this second half.
Marty Booker on the reception, and a penalty flag is down. 19 seconds remaining.
Men on the field, the time of the snap by the defense. 5-yard penalty. That penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
First down for the Bears. So the Packers will go to 9-3 on the year, and the Philadelphia Eagles, playing the Rams coming up in the second half of our doubleheader, 8-3, need to win to maintain their second place standing in the conference. Henry Burris in the final seconds of the game, drilling a pass, tipped up, and the pass is caught. Touchdown by Marcus Robinson. So Henry Burris, who was the third quarterback on the Packers for 11 games last year, and once a backup in the Canadian Football League, throws a touchdown pass 45 yards to Marcus Robinson.
Well, the one thing the Packers didn't have to worry about through the course of this game because of Jim Miller's injury was the deep ball, but Henry Burris comes in, his first throw, throws the ball downfield. Good concentration right there by Marcus Robinson to keep his focus on that football for the touchdown.
Darian Gordon might have gotten a hand on that ball, bounced it, tipped it in the air, and it was caught. So Burris with his first NFL touchdown pass. And Jim Miller is in there for the two-point conversion. 10 seconds remaining. Too little, too late for the Chicago Bears, and this one will not go. Pritchett cannot hold on, and the two-point conversion goes by the board. So the Packer lead is now 30-20.
Well, the Green Bay Packers, they have lost control of their own destiny now in the playoff race, and a sluggish first half for them this afternoon. They get the ship righted at halftime, come out and have a good second half. The players all talked about just winning their last 5 games. They know that Tampa Bay has a tough schedule down the stretch. They've got a big game with San Francisco. Philadelphia has injuries, so the approach that they have taken is the correct one. Hey, we can't control what we do from this point on out into the playoffs, but the one thing we have to do is win out to give ourselves the best chance.
Packers will go to 9-3, and of course hoping that Tampa Bay stumbles in New Orleans. And of course, even though the teams would be tied if those events occur, Tampa Bay still would have the edge because of the tiebreaker winning last week. So the Eagles, faced with it right now, need to win to maintain the second slot, and it's going to be very tight. When you go to the last month of the season, nothing will be decided really until the next to last, and usually the last week.
Absolutely, and this is when you look for one of those teams to get hot. We saw it last year with the New England Patriots, 2 years ago with both the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. It's who's playing well in December. You don't want to have peaked in September or October. We've seen a few teams that have done that. It's how you're playing at the end of the football season, and this is going to be a fun month as we go down the stretch.
And the onside kick attempt recovered by the Packers, and there are no gimmies either, because you could look at a schedule and you could say, well, this is going to be a win. We have seen in the past that you can't count on any games to be sure win.
Absolutely. Look at Atlanta this afternoon. They're in a dogfight with the Minnesota Vikings. The Chicago Bears come out and play Green Bay here at Lambeau, very tough for the first half, and that's what parity around the NFL has done. There's teams with good records, but the old cliche, any given Sunday, any team can be beat, is truer now more than ever.
No question about it, Darrell. And the Bears, who ended their 8-game losing streak last week, will drop to 3-9 on the season. Packers going to 9-3, clinching the division. And once again, they can safely say they have never lost 3 in a row since Mike Sherman has been their head coach. The game is over, and the 1 second showing on the clock. Now it is, and the Packers have won it. And for Mike Sherman, his team woke up in time. 2 former assistants here in Green Bay, one still the head coach of the Packers, who win it 30-20. We'll be right back.
Tiki, your mom's gonna love these.
Hi.
Hey, you take a check?
I'm just gonna need some ID. Okay. How do I know this is you? Because it looks just like him.
But it's me.
Okay. But it looks like him. This says that you were born...
1975.
Okay. But it could still be him.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
So, are you guys related?
Bullseye wins it.
That's what I'm talking about! Sweet nectar of life! Boo! Yeah!
Just tasted new Sam Adams Light, the first great tasting light beer. Shockingly great taste.
Yeah!
Welcome back to Green Bay. Ron Pitts with the star of the second half, I should say, Tony Fisher, undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame. You lit it up today, 17 carries, 91 yards rushing. How did it feel?
I mean, it felt great, you know. Unfortunately, you know, our mind got banged up. But, you know, I just had to come in and just fill in for a mind and just do the best I can.
All right, good luck to you next week and the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dick Stockton, back up to you.
All right, Ron. So this is Dick Stockton for Darryl Johnson. Ron Pitts saying so long from Lambeau Field. The Packers defeat the Bears 30-20, wrap up the NFC North. Stay tuned to Fox Sports for the Office Depot Game Break Show with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy right after these messages. For more information on today's game and the latest NFL news, log on to foxsports.com. So long, everybody.
It's the Office.